Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I am not Steve. I am not Grimace. I am Melo here, and I am taking over the duties tonight as the boss has a bone protruding from his body, and I will not reference what bone that is. That's the only thing we got in the chat. So
what a great way to word that.
He's dealing with that situation at home, hopefully. But with me, as always,
I heard it's frowned upon to deal with that situation in other locations.
That is very true. So hopefully he is at home. Next, to my right, we have none other than Big Daddy Timmy. Timmy, how you doing?
All my bones are exactly where they're supposed to be. That's all I'm saying. At least I think they are.
And underneath, we have from Central Florida, we got Anthony. And how you doing?
Wonderful. Just wonderful.
You seem very thrilled before we came on the air.
It's extreme. This should be a joyous time. I should be here, very happy that the Panthers won a Stanley Cup, and instead the Miami Heat decided to participate in the NBA draft tonight. So here I am.
Wait, did they do something besides draft Kal-El?
Let's Kal-El. Yeah. We'll talk about it. We'll get into it. I'll save it for later. Not happy right now. Not happy right now.
All right. Well, we do have a lot of well, not a lot. We have basically a wrap up from the postseason for NBA and the NHL, and we got a couple other little things happening. Obviously, tonight is the NBA draft. Tomorrow's the NHL draft. And we got Copa America, Euros, and the Olympics coming up soon next month. So with that said, Timmy, why don't you go ahead and kick us off to the intro?
Acknowledge Sika.
R.I.P. You're right. The boss needs to change up that intro there. I don't want to see Saquon running anymore.
That's true. We need a lot of little adjustment. I need a whole new Just Too Sweet intro.
Uh-oh.
I need a whole new one. I want a whole new one.
Uh-oh.
It might just be me by myself. I don't know yet.
All right. Well, I guess, Timmy, you're going to be producing, so we'll kick it off with NBA. And I know this is something you're definitely going to want to talk about. We have crowned a new NBA champion, and that is none other than the Boston Celtics, winning their record-breaking 18th NBA championship. First one in what was it, 16 years?
Yeah. 18? Something like that.
Which is insane. But what's more insane is that they kept saying it. They're like, oh, Boston finally ended its 5-year drought. And I'm like, 5-year drought? Can that be considered a drought?
I guess so.
Like, come on. When was it? I think before whenever the Knicks got eliminated, or no, when the Rangers got eliminated, they said, oh, now it's been like 100 seasons without a championship in New York, combining with like the Knicks, Giants, Jets, Brooklyn.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, so
long time.
I don't consider 5 years a drought.
Listen, I gladly would have traded a Stanley Cup for a NBA title, but I'll take what I can get at this point. So
how'd you feel about that? What you think going into that game? What do you think about the Finals MVP?
Yeah, man. Hey, look, they were the best from day one. They were the best in the last day of the season. Even I got cocky in the middle of that fucking play on that final one. Even I was like, I was doing one of these things. Like, yeah, this is going to be the easiest finals ever. Fourth point most differential in history. Fourth, I think they said. I mean, it was just it was an ass whooping, except for game 4, which they threw so they could win at home on 6-4, whatever it was, the same date they won the last one on. You hear that conspiracy theory? That's a good one. and they wanted to win on 6-8. I'm sorry, they wanted to win on 6-8-24 because 8 and 24 were Kobe's numbers, which makes no sense. Kobe's not a fucking Celtic. Why would people throw that out there? It doesn't make any sense. But because they won on June 8th before June 8th for 14, I guess it was whatever it was, 12 years. I forget what he said. They call it a conspiracy. Yeah, they wanted to win on the same day. Just win, goddammit. You don't let somebody back in the series because you never know what could happen, a la Stanley Cup finals, which we'll talk about. But no, I was blown away by how well they played. The defense really stepped up. They put a whooping on these guys. They knocked poor Luka down a peg or two, even though he was still doing what he does best. Yeah, man, I'm beyond happy with the way it turned. I actually watched all of it too, which is shocking for me. Because it's like I gotta get into it though. But no, I'm extremely happy the way it was. Tatum showed up when he had to. Did he really need to? I don't know, man. Those guys are on
They're
fire.
already winning by like 15 points, and he's like, okay, let me go for 30 now.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? Brown deserved it. He deserved it. He deserved the MVP. And these guys have been playing together for a long time. So let's hope they keep this team together and can do it again next year. Because the Knicks are making moves. Got to watch out for the Knicks now.
I mean, they have to compete with that Celtics roster. I feel like they were just a deeper team. Those guys on defense played really well. That addition of Drew Holiday, and I will have to admit, a couple of years ago when the Bucks traded for Drew Holiday, I was like, this is supposed to be a game-changing move. And he proved me wrong when they won, and he's still proving me wrong to this day. That move, honestly, I think sealed their championship win. Because if you think about it, it's just a couple more pieces that they moved. Obviously, they got Porzingis, even though Porzingis, he was a big factor, like a game and a half, maybe. But Drew Holiday, I feel like, was the overall like addition to it of removing Marcus Smart and Grant, because I feel like Marcus Smart was a good defender, but he just made some idiotic plays that Drew Holiday's not making. He's making the smart moves. He's making the smart plays. If he sees that he can cut in, he's going to do it. There were so many times in so many of those games where I would see Drew Holiday just be in the right place to cut, and boom, just an easy layup, just back-to-back times. And I'm like, man, can they stop him?
He could have very easily been MVP too. I mean, it came right down to it. Brown did deserve it at the end, but if they would have picked Holiday, I would have been shocked. Would have been shocked at all. But they were hitting. They started hitting. What's his name? Hit the half court shot like right before that. Right?
Pritchard.
Yeah, Pritchard. I was like, this game is done, dude. This series is done. He just lobbing up half court 3-pointers like it was nothing going in.
I think he hit 2 of those, and like he hit another like buzzer beater as well. It's ridiculous.
So I was like, yeah, this is done. So I'm very happy. I'm waiting for my championship hat to arrive in the mail. I will display it proudly when I get it for our next show, hopefully. And yeah, man, I'm pumped up now. I think if they're smart, they don't make any stupid moves. I mean, they could be in the finals next year, maybe even the year after that. You just don't know.
No, it's true, you don't. And I think right now we're looking at to re-sign Tatum is something ridiculous, like $317 million, like an extension. I'm like, holy crap! Like and this is why this is why going back to the NBA NFL thing. NFL players, if they could be in the NBA, they would be in the NBA because the contracts are freaking ridiculous. How much you guys are getting paid? Scotty Barnes got paid, like. But Ant, how about you? What did you think of this final series?
So it pretty much went how I thought it would. Even though I didn't pick the Celtics, I did say when I made my pick that I wasn't picking against them because I thought they wouldn't win. I was picking against them because I hate them. Still stand by that. I will say, though, one thing that I did want to bring up about it. I feel like we may have finally truly exited the dynasty era or whatever you want to call it of the NBA. So if you think back to, I mean, really, you go back to all the way to, 91? You have Bulls 3 in a row, Rockets 2 in a row, Bulls 3 in a row, Spurs, Lakers, Spurs. Then you have an off year with the Pistons. Then it's the Spurs again. Then it's the Heat. Then it's the Spurs again. Then you have the Celtics. Then Lakers. It's. I can keep going, but you have Golden State winning a couple more, the Spurs winning another one, the Lakers winning another one, the Warriors winning another one in there. So this is the first stretch now. This is the first stretch we've had since pre-91. My gosh, it might even be further back than that. where we've had 6 different, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? We've had 6 different NBA champions the last 6 seasons. No repeats, which I think is pretty cool when you think about it. You have the Raptors in 19, you have the Lakers in 20, the Bucks in 21, the Warriors in 22, the Nuggets in 23, and now the Celtics in 24. So I do think for the good of the game and for the interest of basketball fans everywhere, having that kind of parity is good for the sport. And as much as I enjoyed watching some of those teams, some of those Spurs teams, some of those Warriors teams, some of those Heat teams, the Bulls teams and all that, it's very nice to go into a season and not truly know who's going to win it ahead of time, which it kind of felt like with some of those Warrior seasons. We felt that way with some of those Spurs and Lakers years. We felt that way when LeBron was in Miami. We felt that way when MJ was in Chicago. So it's a really interesting new time in the NBA now where even next season, as good as Boston looked this year, and as much of that roster as they're probably going to still have together going into next year, we don't know. I don't think we're going into next season with them as a lock to win it again. So I think this is great. This is great for basketball. It's fun. I still hate the Celtics, though.
I agree with you there. And
I think the Celtics win, and all of a sudden, Ant hates dynasties. There's a fucking coincidence.
But it's funny.
I'm not saying I hate. I don't want it. I don't want it to be taken as I hate dynasties. I just think this kind of parity for the league is a good thing.
I mean, but there's also the stat that I think from 2011 up until, let's say, last year, because this year neither one of them were in the finals. There was only, I think, 2 years where neither the Warriors or the Heat were in the finals. I think it was 2020 when it was Bucks and Phoenix, and there's another year in there where it wasn't either one of them.
That's the only one.
It's only that, so it's that one in this year.
Yeah, from 2011 on. 2011, Miami's in.
Miami was
12,
in
13, and 4.
Yeah.
At 4 in a row, 12, 13, and 14. Then Golden State's in 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Then Miami's in 20. Then, like you said, Phoenix, Milwaukee. And then Golden State's in 22. Miami's in 23. So this is the second year, 24 and 21.
Yeah, so if you look at it,
2 years in the last 13, 14,
there's still
really,
2 teams that have been in the finals like a good amount of time now.
Yeah, one of those teams hasn't won in a long time, though.
Basketball's been the least diversified as far as winning. 80s, it was either the Lakers, the Celtics, the Sixers, you know what I'm saying? It was always the same teams over and over again. So I think it's been the least diversified. So, hey, if they pop out a different winner every year, that's cool, too. But what's up, Thursday? What's going on? I haven't seen you in a long time, my friend. How are you? Don't start with your propaganda already. We're not talking about baseball yet.
And as far as the NBA money stuff goes, obviously Bruce brought up their fully guaranteed contracts in the NBA as well. But another thing you have to take into account when you're comparing the NBA to other sports, there's 15 guys on a roster, and usually 4 or 5 of those guys, sometimes 6 or 7, are making NBA minimum. And the salary cap in the NBA is 160 million, 170 million, something like that. And so even if you just do simple math there, you're averaging $10 million a roster spot, maybe more now, I'm not even sure. And then you have 4 of those guys, 5 of those guys that are making under $1 million. All that money's got to go somewhere because most of the teams are actually over the salary cap as it is anyway. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. If you think about this in comparison to hockey, Connor McDavid, hands down the best player in the NHL, makes $12.5 million a season. OG Anunoby just signed a 5-year, 4-year, $215 million extension. So Connor McDavid would have to play, 20 years at his current salary rate to get close to OG, or 20 or 18 years or something like that. So it's pretty crazy.
It's insane. And the NBA, I mean, the salary cap is just going to keep going up with these lucrative TV deals that they're getting. So these guys are just going to get paid more and more money. Like I think they put out a post today that I think the Lakers are trying to extend LeBron for like 3 years. And at the age of 41, he's going to be making at the age of 41, LeBron would be making like $50 million or $40 plus million. And I'm like, at 41, he's going to be making that much money. Like it's absolutely insane to think.
You know he's getting worse, right? He's not getting better. Like he's getting worse. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you're right. He's not putting up like crazy triple-double numbers, but he's still putting up like
No, that's
good
not
enough
picking on. That's not
stats.
my usual picking on LeBron thing. That's just a fact. He's 41 years old. He's going to get worse every year. He's not getting better where he should be getting $51 million a year. That's all I'm saying. But of course, if I'm 41-year-old LeBron and someone's handing me $50 million, yeah, I'm taking it. Of course.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be like, okay, I'll go ahead and sign that contract. Who knows if he gets hurt? Like, he's still going to make that money because it's guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Terzio. So Terzio brought up the sitting on the bench thing. The NBA has kind of solved that thing with, because a lot of these contracts also have incentives where, like, let's say the contract is for $200 million for 4 years. They'll be like, oh, if you don't make the All NBA or all of this other nonsense, instead of getting 200 mil, you'll actually get like 160, which is still ridiculous amount of money. So the only way to get that though now is you have to play 65 games minimum. They cut that whole.
It's very smart. Very smart.
And that's the same thing with the awards. Now you can't get one of these awards without playing at least 65 games minimum. And I think it makes sense. Like, unless you're severely hurt, like, there's no reason to be sitting out these games. Like, just because you're going to Charlotte, like, doesn't mean, okay, yeah, I'm going to sit out this game because, it's Charlotte. No one really plays here. Like, that shouldn't be your mindset. This is the game. And I think I liked what Josh Hart said in the playoffs. Like, we're playing a game. Like, I'm getting paid to play a game. There's people out there that go to work every single day and bust their ass. Like, the least I can do is just play.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I completely agree with that. And I guess we'll stick with the NBA a little bit longer. And for the boss, I know he's watching at home, mending his bone. The Knicks have made a couple moves in the last 24 hours. The first being that they acquired from Brooklyn's own Nets, Mikal Bridges, and they also got a 2026 second round pick. And Timmy, this is what they gave up. They gave up Bojan Bogdanovic. They gave up 4 unprotected first round picks, 1 in 2025, 1 in 2027, 1 in 2029, and 1 in 2031, an unprotected pick swap in 2028. And then it says a top 4 protected 2025 first round pick from the Bucks and a second round pick in 2025.
Yeah, five first and a pick swap.
Yeah, and Bojan.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, but I mean, if you think about it, Mikal Bridges is a guy who's, I mean, knock on wood for the boss's sake, has stayed healthy. I think one season he played 83 games, which there's only 82 games in a season.
The year he was traded for Kevin Durant, he got 80. He got an extra one in.
So it's a good. I mean, I thought it was a great trade. It makes them a lot stronger. And today, like Ant said, they re-signed OG, and it looks like they might not even lose Harkenstein. And I thought that's who they were going to lose with all these little moves.
Yeah, I know you're throwing jabs about the injuries and stuff, but with the depth they're building, I'm not sure injuries are gonna. They're deep. They're really deep. Well, that's a solid roster.
No, it's not throwing jabs at injuries. It's throwing jabs at their head coach that loves to run players into the ground. But now he's got a deeper roster that he doesn't have to play Josh Hart 48 minutes every night.
No, and I would assume all of these guys' minutes will go down. I will say, closing time, that 5-man rotation are what I expect to be their 5 down the stretch of games, with the 4 Villanova kids, Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart, and Bridges, along with OG, is it feels like a new age, almost like a death ball type lineup, like what Golden State used to run. Golden State was obviously a little different, but they were running Curry, Iguodala, Clay, Harrison Barnes, and Draymond pre-Kevin Durant, and then once they added Durant, obviously they just no Barnes and added Durant. So yeah, I mean, that's a scary lineup down the stretch, and they're going to run a lot of bigs off the floor with that lineup. I mean, unless teams truly stay committed to keeping a big on the floor, which is going to be hard to do with that offense, you're going to have to go small against them, and that just plays into their hand further. I love the depth. We didn't even mention, and like I know people shit on them all the time, but they still have Julius Randle, who's a quality player. They still have Harvenstein. I believe Mitchell Robinson's still under contract as well. Am I right? I don't believe he's a free agent.
Yeah, no, that's what. Well, this is what the boss chimed in over here. I don't know if it came up.
I don't know. If this guy could type, I think this guy could talk. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me.
He only needs one hand to type. That's anyway. No, I agree with you on that one, Ant. The only thing I would say is I would probably think about trading Randall, seeing what you can get for him. Because they played well without him last year, and like I don't know if he's gonna mesh well with these guys. So
what are you
I wouldn't
trading him
mind
for?
That I don't know.
I mean, they still have 5 first-round picks in the next 3 drafts. They have 2 tonight, which they may have. I haven't been following, so they may have made those picks already. They had 2 tonight, and then they have 3 more over the next 2. So you don't really need extra. I mean, I guess you could trade them for a package of first if you really wanted to. But you're not trading them for a guard or a wing right now. Not with what they have. You don't really need a guard or another guard. I mean, you could, but you don't really need it. I think you play it out. You keep them on the roster. It's all it does is give them options depending on the matchup of different lineups they can throw at people. Because now they have the options. Exactly. You take out a DiVincenzo or you take out a DiVincenzo and all of a sudden you put Randall in. Randall's your 5, OG's your 4, and then you have Bridges, Brunson, Hart, 3 through 1. That's a great lineup. Or if you want to play a little bigger or play a little more size, you still have the option of taking out another guard or something like that and playing Mitchell Robinson with Julius Randle or Harvenstein with Julius Randle and still having OG or Bridges. Like there's just so many different. This is what we saw from the Celtics this year. What made them so scary is they could throw so many different lineup combinations at teams depending on what you had to play against them. And like in a way, yeah, you're adapting to the other team, but at the same time, you have 3 questions on the test and you have 15 answers you can use, and they're all right. So it's not a bad situation to be in.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's like what you mentioned in the chat. You're like, is this the new norm for the Knicks? We're not used to them making competent moves back to back to back.
Leon Rose. I mean, Steve said it the other day. What since Durant and Kyrie turned him down in whatever year that was, 2019? Is that 2019? 2018? 2019? Basically, since then they've made every right decision along the way. I mean, I'm sure we could probably nitpick things here and there, but man, it's just good decisions left hand over fist everywhere. And even the Bridges trade, like, yeah, that looks like such a big package. I don't think people realize they traded 5 first-round picks and added a pick swap, and they still had 5 first-round picks in the next 3 drafts. The fact that they had all those picks to begin with, it blows my mind.
And we mentioned all the time, especially with the NBA, you don't know. You really don't know. I think basketball and baseball are probably the 2 where you're like, are they going to make a difference right away at all? So, I mean, as far as the Knicks go, you have that many picks, and it's good for them. It's a good deal, no matter what. It's a good deal. Yeah, because you have an established player for maybe. That's what you trade for, maybe. Established player who, by the way, is moving across the river. Doesn't have to upheaval his life and make a big. No, he's going across the river. So he's still.
He doesn't really even have. Let's be real. Does he really live in Brooklyn? Probably not.
Oh, I mean, just for the home game, I'm just talking about. But
I'm saying like Bridges probably doesn't have. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he has a house in Brooklyn, but if I had to move to New York, I'm probably not gonna live in Brooklyn. No offense, Brooklyn. I have options there. I'm probably not gonna live there.
No, but it's an established player for maybe. So that's always a good deal to me.
It's true. It's a win now situation, and they still have, again, like Ann said, future capital. But I'm going to go ahead and now sideways to, again, the Nets here, because they were not done making moves, as they also completed a trade with the Rockets. But this one was it was a little bit more different, and it was a little weird for the Rockets. So this is what the trade involved. Brooklyn received a 2025 first-round pick, which negated a previous agreed swap with Houston, and a 2026 first-round pick. And the Rockets got the 2025 right to swap their own first-round pick, or the Thunder's first-round pick, for Phoenix's first-round pick,
Jesus.
Very confusing.
It's very confusing.
And a 2027 first round pick from the Suns. And they also got rights to the two most. What is this? Rights to the two most favorable of the Mavs, Suns, and Rockets first round pick in 2029. So essentially, this was the Nets getting their picks back from the whole ordeal of James Harden situation when they were trading for him.
Not only that, but it was Houston angling to get the Phoenix picks because Houston is, for some reason, trying to transition to win now mode in a very quick manner, which never seems to work out well for teams.
Well, the rumors what they want to go after KD.
He's not getting traded.
But I don't think. I mean, why would Phoenix do that?
I mean, they don't have any other ways of improving their roster either. I mean, they're tapped out. Probably wouldn't mind getting some of their own picks back, especially some of those later ones that would open up some trade avenues for them. But
true, but I still feel like you got two stars. You have a superstar and a star on that team that could maybe still make a push. Who knows? KD played very efficiently last year, so it's not like he's done yet.
No, but they are.
Stick a fork in them.
But I don't know. I mean, they could, but think about it this way. I don't know if Houston is really weird because the Nets, you just gave up your best player. Let's be real. They're going to most likely tank next year, probably the next couple of years. Oh. So those draft picks that Houston had of theirs are kind of a big deal. Like they're going to be good lottery picks, most likely. So they could have probably held on to those.
I'd like to thank the Nets. It took a lot longer than I thought, but hey, that KD, that Garnett Pierce trade worked out very well for us in the end. That and the fact that the Sixers and the Lakers couldn't draft for shit over the last couple of years. God bless you, fellas. I appreciate it.
Back-to-back years, you get Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and you get them in the same position, right? They got them at 3, and then the two guys above them are like.
My absolute favorite thing is the fact that the Lakers took Lonzo fucking Ball, and it makes me laugh and laugh and laugh.
That was the Jalen one, right?
Lonzo family, yeah.
I actually really like Lonzo before his knee fell off.
Who was the first round? Who was the first guy picked? You don't even
Lonzo.
know
Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, where's he at? Philly?
He's in Orlando.
He's in
Orlando.
That's
still can't shoot, right, but he's there. I don't know about that.
At least he's playing now. He's not afraid of getting on the floor.
Yeah, unlike Ben Simmons.
Man, Philly does something to these guys. I don't know what it is.
Sometimes you just shit town. Like a shit organization. I can't really blame the town. I have nothing against the Phillies. Just the Flyers and the Eagles, I hope. Drop. I'm never going to say it. It's too late.
The Knicks traded the 24th overall pick to the Wizards. Details on the package are still waiting.
Okay, and they had gotten that pick from Dallas. So, Ant, I know now we'll jump into the NBA draft. You had a couple comments you wanted to make about the Miami Heat's number 15th pick. They drafted Superman, apparently.
Yeah, anytime in today's NBA that you can pair two big men together that can't shoot or stretch the floor, you have to do it. You have to do it. It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. I don't understand it. I've heard numerous people talk about it all offseason. The Heat were transfixed on. Oh, hold on. The trade details for the Knicks. The Knicks traded pick 24 to the Wizards. They got picks. Oh my gosh, my phone is being stupid. They got picks 26 and 51. So they moved down 2 slots. So the Knicks went from 24-25 to 25-26 and picked up an extra second. So
this is unlike Knicks drafting.
This is unlike Knicks anything. Like I said, the moves they've made over the last 6 years, 5 years, whatever it is, have really been good. And I don't know how else to word it.
Grimace has absolutely changed the boss's entire life right now. He's just on a high.
I would say it started with Leon Rose and has been uphill since then.
Can I just say that if the Knicks ever win the title, I will not set foot in Manhattan. Not only will I not set foot in Manhattan, but I think we should burn their bridges down so those animals can't get out of Manhattan because they're gonna burn this city to the ground.
Not gonna lie, they may burn the bridges down for you.
It's like, oh, Knicks have won the title. I'll be like that redneck who ended the world. I'll be locking my doors. We get the shotgun out through the door, and
you would not be going to work that day.
Steve clearly not listening because I already broke the trade and the details on it.
Yeah.
Steve, I'm just telling the truth, man. This city would explode if the Knicks won. Explode.
That's true.
And not 100%. In a good way. Not in a good way.
Well, no, it's not. It would be crazy. Pandemonium.
And let's hope they keep it to Manhattan. Leave Queens out of it.
Well, you're not safe in Queens either. That's a whole 5-borough event right there. If you think Brooklyn actually roots for the Nets, wait till the Knicks win an NBA title. Everyone in Brooklyn's going to be like, "Who are the Nets?"
That's true too. The bandwagoners.
The details were pick 24 to the Wizards for picks 26 and 51. So you move down 2 spots to pick up an extra second. It's a smart trade. You move down 2 spots. I assume that the Knicks made the Wizards tell them who they were going to pick. The Knicks made sure it wasn't a guy they wanted anyway, and they picked up an extra second round pick out of it.
So wait.
Very random.
We got the Mets and the Yankees are on. We're on. And the NBA draft that you got sucked into a Fiend debut video. I see where your head's at. I can see where your head's at.
Well, aren't the Mets in a rain delay?
Still?
No, it's back on.
Sunday. It's on Sunday. I unfortunately cannot make it down for that. That would be something. Honestly, they have 2 firsts. They don't have a huge need present right now. That wouldn't be the worst pick.
No, because Daddy would come.
I don't know about that part, but
Daddy would come.
I don't think so.
They don't have the money for Daddy.
Daddy will play for nothing to play with Sonny Boy and bring a title to the Knicks
at all. I don't, and I also don't think that LeBron would ever play for Tibbs.
I don't know. I've seen stranger things.
I haven't. Not than that. He's no way he's playing for Tibbs.
So, and beat us in on this Heat draft pick. Superman, putting him alongside with Bam.
I'm not trying to talk bad about the kid. I'm sure he's a great kid and won't be a terrible NBA player or anything like that. It doesn't make sense from a roster construction standpoint to have 2 bigs on the floor, him and Bam, because obviously Bam's going to play his 35 plus minutes a night, regardless. Whether you play him, whether you call him a 4 or a 5 is. You know what I miss? I miss when the Heat played this thing called positionless basketball, and they didn't really give a fuck about positions and just threw 5 guys on the floor and let it go. This whole thing about worried about, well, Bam can't be a 5 anymore because I don't know why. He's only been like the finalist in Defensive Player of the Year like 4 times in the last 5 years, but he can't be a 5 anymore. It's stupid. It's asinine. And if we want to keep going on the Heat, all this shit about them not trading Jimmy Butler is a fucking mistake. He's 35 years old. He's making $50 million. You could have gotten a Mikal Bridges plus package for him, and they're not going to trade. Stupid. Fucking
Mikal Bridges isn't going to be the difference maker here.
No. I'm not saying you could have gotten Mikal Bridges. You could have gotten a package like what the Nets just got for Bridges, plus some. They're talking about the Sixers were willing to send them every draft pick they have, and then still also facilitate getting other players involved since the Sixers don't have players on their roster. And that's just one team. That's not even talking about some of the other teams that we're interested in. It's stupid. It's stupid. He's 35 years old. He's making $50 million. I love Jimmy. I really do. What he's done for the organization is... Sorry, one second. What he's done for the organization is incredible. He took an organization at a time where I did not think they were going to be that good and took them to 2 NBA Finals. That's awesome. Awesome. But this whole thing about him wanting a 3-year extension that's going to run till he's 38, 39 years old, paying him $50 to $60 million a year, and this is a guy who's barely playing 60 games a season, you can't do it. Can't do it. We saw last year that the roster's not good enough. It's not. And you could pretty easily argue that maybe the year before was even kind of fluky. It is what it is. They beat who they had to play. Injuries are not in their control. But the roster's not good enough. It's evident the roster's not good enough. So doubling down on that roster makes no sense to me. Especially when you could have moved someone like Jimmy and gotten a haul like that, which would have allowed you to then start to build around someone like Bam. Oh, also, and the other part of this, I know I'm a bigger Tyler Hero supporter than Melo is, but supposedly they were offered the 10th pick from the Utah Jazz for Tyler Hero, and they turned it down. And even though I am a Tyler Hero supporter, I would have done that deal in a fucking heartbeat. And this isn't even that great of a draft. So
I would absolutely give him up. I would have given him up for the 24th pick. You heard that, Knicks? You guys could have had Tyler Hero if I was the GM. And the Knicks drafted for the Wizards. I don't know this kid's name. Keyshawn George from Miami, shooting guard. But so now
the Knicks just took.
At 24, that is going to Washington. Now they're on the clock again. But no, I agree with you. I didn't really understand the pick because, again, you need to be able to space the floor. And if you have two guys out there who cannot shoot the ball, we're just going to get demolished on offense. Every single play. Like, we cannot rely on Jimmy Butler or Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson to be scoring all the time. Like, you got to get Bam in there, and the spacing is not going to be great for him with a guy who can't space the floor, which is why I feel like you need like a Valanciunas, maybe.
McCain would have been perfect.
Yeah.
The point guard from Duke, he would have been perfect for them.
I mean, it would have been nice to have drafted Anthony Carter's son, but he got picked, I think it was like 3 picks before.
Well, what scares me is so they didn't take McCain, and McCain went the very next pick to the Sixers, and it feels eerily reminiscent of taking Precious Achiuwa over Tyrese Maxey. So, hey, don't worry, though. We only have to watch Tyrese Maxey and McCain play in the same backcourt for the next 10 years, so not a big deal.
But it's like, this is why, if we would have given up Jimmy Butler for every single one of the Warriors picks, where I don't think I would have been happy with that, because unless we're going to use those picks to get someone, that's the only thing I would have been okay with, because I don't feel like that he'd draft well. And Pat Riley is not very keen on doing that.
Their drafts are, I think they do decent for the picks that they have. We have to remember that they don't have a first round pick basically every other year because they trade as many of them as they can. So you do have to kind of grade it on a little bit of a curve from that standpoint. If you think about the spots that they've picked from and the players that they've gotten, I think they've done decent. I won't say that they've done amazing. I don't think they've done better than some teams. But they certainly haven't done worse than a lot of other teams. The problem I have with not trading someone like Jimmy, so they couldn't trade their pick tonight. They can technically trade it after the pick is made. So they could technically trade that pick to someone else now. But being it's a center and being it was rumored that they wanted a center, it seems like they took that pick with the intention of keeping it. They can't trade their 2025 first-round pick because it's owed to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They can't trade their 2026 first-round pick because the 2025 first-round pick is lottery protected and could convey in 2026 instead of 2025. Because of that, you can't trade your 2027 round pick, but that doesn't matter because they've already traded the 2027 to Charlotte, which that pick's lottery protected, which means they can't trade their 2028 first-round pick either because it's part of the lottery protection on the Charlotte pick. Oh, and because the 2028 first-round pick could technically end up in Charlotte's hands, they can't trade their 2029 first-round pick either. So the Miami Heat can't trade any of the first-round picks that they have right now until 2030. So, yeah, I don't know how this team's getting better. They're over the cap. They don't have free agency money. All they have is a mid-level exception. They have like 5 free agents that they're going to have to try and re-sign as well. And I'm supposed to be in the belief that this team's going to be better next year than it was this year.
I've been calling for that old man's head already.
I've defended him for a very long time. I may have run out of patience at this point. My patience has worn very thin.
There's only so much you can just run it back and run it back and run it back. Like, it kind of sucks because I feel like you did waste a lot of Jimmy's best years.
It's upsetting. I like the Rozier trade when they made it. And I forgot where the 2025 – I forgot why they don't have the 2025 pick. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. The 2025 pick was part of a trade in 2019 between Miami and the Clippers. I have no idea who that was for. I have no clue. I don't feel like looking it up. It doesn't matter. What I'm getting at, though, is if they were in a situation where they had picks, they could have been in a situation where they could have made a trade like the Mikal Bridges trade. And that's the kind of trade that they need to make. And they don't have the assets to do it. You know? And even like some of their former first-round picks, players like Jaime Jaquez and Nikola Jovic, who have looked good for stretches of time, those guys are not valued as much as an unknown first-round pick because they're not superstars. So even though like we kind of know what they are or what they're going to be, and like maybe Jovic turns into something decent. I like the kid; he looks good. Jaime, I said it last year at the draft, and Jaime had a pretty good year for Miami up until like January, and then he kind of fell apart. But I said it last year, and I stand by my comments last year when I made it. The Miami Heat made a mistake not taking Cam Whitmore last year. Cam Whitmore was the perfect front court running mate for Bam Adebayo. That he is a stretch four who can play against bigger guys. He's athletic. He can shoot the three. He can do a little bit of everything. And if you got even another player that could play the floor, you could always slide Cam over to the small forward position. It was a perfect pick for them, and they took Jaime instead. And I like Jaime. He's a good kid, but I think long run, it's going to be another one of these picks that 5 years from now, it's going to be how we talk about the Precious Tyrese Maxey thing. They took Precious because they felt they needed another big. Bam wasn't enough. So they take a big. Tyrese Maxey goes to Philly. He's a superstar now. You know? So I'm really disgusted with how the Miami Heat offseason is kicked off.
Oh, I couldn't hear it.
Sorry.
Wait. In the background, I heard the NBA draft thing.
No, it's the NFL draft thing.
Oh, that's what it was. Wow, you did it.
Are they using it? Are they using it for the NBA one as well?
Yeah, they're using it for the NBA one.
Oh, they shouldn't be allowed to do that. That should be against the rules.
Well, with that, the Knicks have picked shooting guard from France, Pacom Dadiet.
Here we go with France again.
I said it correctly.
He's the boss. The boss is online right now getting that jersey.
6'8", 217 pounds from France. So another Frenchman. The Frenchmen are dominating the draft. I think that's 4 Frenchmen that have come off the board already in the first round. Except none of them are 7'5" with an 8-foot wingspan.
Fuck that guy.
Like Wemby.
Screw Wemby. Tired of hearing about that guy.
Wemby did better last year. At the end.
No, I hit the chime. I think it's time we spent 53 minutes on basketball alone.
Well, there was a lot with the draft and off-season moves. So you're right, Timmy. Let's go ahead and cue up the next postseason,
which I'm sure you both got to be very excited about.
And I mean, definitely, let's talk about Stanley Cup Finals that went to 7 games, and it came out with the Florida Panthers with their redemption story. Going up 3-0, they lost 3 in a row, looked very bleak. Game 7, allegedly, according to sources, Florida fans were selling their tickets to Oilers fans, but somehow that stadium looked really red from the TV that I was watching from. And the Panthers did not blow it. They were not on the wrong side of history, thank God, because I could not go through that again with one of my teams. And they won their first ever Stanley Cup final. And I thought it was a fantastic series, even being scared each game that they kept losing, going to that game 7. I thought it was great. I think I saw somewhere that I didn't look at all the rest of the games, but when game 1 happened, it was like the highest watched Stanley Cup final game 1 since like 92 or something like that. Something ridiculous, like a while. And I don't know, Timmy, what did you think of the Stanley Cup Finals?
I am happy that I actually said I honestly I know who Connor McDavid was. I remember when he got drafted. I know who he is. I am just happy that I've actually sat down this postseason and watched entire games with this maniac playing, because the dude is absolutely insane on the ice. Probably one of my favorite players ever. I'll probably watch every Edmonton game I could ever watch. Every time it's on, I'm going to watch them. Yeah, they almost pulled out a miracle, man. I was actually sweating for you guys.
Thank you, Ro.
I was sweating for you guys. I really was. Of course, I was rooting for Edmonton. I'm not going to lie. I picked them, and I was rooting for them. But that's just butt hurt. Um, but yeah, that defense of the Panthers. I know that the 3 games that they lost were a little bad, but that defense is insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, they were smothering. They were. Whew, that's an insane defense. And the
That
fact that
last game they were able to stop him.
the fact that they switched up their entire way they were playing the game led to this. I thought that what a great way to do it. What a great team. Again, I didn't like it. They beat my team, but hey, what are you gonna do?
At least your team lost to the champions.
Oh, I don't like saying that. That's horseshit. I'd rather have seen Connor McDavid win that cup. But congratulations to the Panthers. It was a great series. I did feel bad for you guys having the palpitations had been bad during that goddamn series. So no, I disagree.
I disagree as well.
Yeah, I do too, just because of the parameters of winning that award. But before we get into that, and how about you talk about your feelings going through this entire series, what you thought, and express how great of a fan base the Florida Panthers have.
All these people, like, don't get me wrong, there are genuinely people who have followed the Panthers for the last 30 years, and followed them religiously for the last 30 years. But as prototypical to South Florida sports fans, all these people that you're seeing posting nonsense on social media, a vast majority of them have no idea who Pavel Bure is, they don't know who Roberto Luongo is, who was beating the drum before Game 7, who is eating pasta right now at an Italian restaurant in Fort Lauderdale somewhere out of the Stanley Cup. They have no idea who Roberto Luongo is. Amazing. So that stuff I don't like. I don't like hearing all these people say, I suffered for so long. Like, you don't even know who all these Panthers players were. Like, stop it. You don't know who Jay Bouwmeester was. You don't remember Nathan Horton playing for the Panthers.
Hey, Bouwmeester.
They can probably only name you 2 guys on the Panthers roster right now.
I can go further back than that. I remember watching Scott Mellenby and Paul Laus and John Van Beesbrook, and don't give me that shit. You don't know these names, then no. Like, don't get me wrong, you can still celebrate and all that, but like, I remember these players. I remember when this team fucking sucked and there was 12 people in the arena. I remember when they moved to that arena in Sunrise, and I used to get free tickets from the Boys and Girls Club to go to games. And I could go to the game and I could walk up to the booth, to the ticket booth, and I could show them my ticket, which was for the upper level. And for $10, I could upgrade to lower level seats behind the benches because they needed to make sure there were fans in the camera angles to make it look like there were people in the stands. I remember going to games like this. I went to numerous games like that. I went to numerous games where I swear to you there was maybe 100 people in the whole fucking arena. Both at Miami Arena and up here in Broward, or up there in Broward. I don't live in Broward no more. But so it's really cool. I would honestly say I think the Marlins one the 97 will always be very special to me. Because I was a little kid. They beat the Indians. Stop it.
No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, 97 will always be a little more special for me, just because I guess that was like the first time I got to experience that with a team that I rooted for and followed so religiously. I got to go to Game 1 and Game 6 that year. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go for Game 7, but just being able to have gone to a World Series game is obviously a huge, huge memory. I was there in 96 at fucking 3 in the morning or 2:30 in the morning, whatever time it was, when the Avalanche hit I think it was Mark Recchi scored the goal in triple overtime to clinch the cup for the Avalanche. I was in the arena when that happened. So it's really cool to see this. I would almost say I would probably put this as my second favorite South Florida sports title. And I feel weird putting that over the Heat ones, but I think maybe the Heat ones have been diluted because it's happened more than once. I'm not trying to make that sound like I'm boasting about them or anything like that. But I think this one is more meaningful because of how bad it was for all those years, you know? And so I think that's really cool. And yeah, I mean, it was kind of emotional watching that. And it's seeing some people that I've known for a long time react to it, who I know have actually followed the team, is really cool. So yeah, it's a great feeling. I'm very happy about it. I give the South Florida sports fans a hard time about it, and I still don't like most of them. But yeah, no, it's awesome. It's really cool to see the way that they built this team and just the camaraderie with the guys. I know everyone says that every year. I know Paul Maurice talked about it, but it's really nice to see, and it was cool, so I'm happy about it.
Seeing Keith Kachuk crying too was pretty cool.
Seeing Keith Kachuk cry, seeing Keith Kachuk, who is a great player in his own right, lift the Stanley Cup was pretty memorable. And then watching him and his sons drink beer out of it was pretty cool too. While we're talking about the Kachuk family, for the love of God, someone get Brady Kachuk out of fucking Ottawa. Jesus, please get him to a team that's good. Please. There's no reason that kid should have to suffer through this. No, it's awesome. I think it was so fitting in the final game. Carter Verhaeghe and Sam Reinhart had gotten so much shit for how poorly they had played, especially over the 3 losses, of just how bad they had been playing. And for them to be the 2 goal scorers in the clinching game, for Bob, who had taken so much shit in games 4, 5, and 6, to come back with an outstanding performance in game 7, it was phenomenal. I know a lot of Panthers fans think he should have won the Conn Smythe. I know a lot of fans in general think he should have won the Conn Smythe. Connor McDavid's the right pick. He broke Gretzky's playoff assist record. He's now the only player in the modern era to have scored 40 points in one postseason run. That's fucking absurd. If you look at the names of that list, it's fucking like Gretzky and Lemieux. I think those are the only other 2 names who have scored over.
Lemieux and then
McDavid. Okay, so the best player to ever play, the second best player, well, Gretzky and Lemieux and then McDavid. I won't get into who the best player of all time is because I personally think Connor McDavid might be better than all 3 of them, but that are the other 2 of them. But that's a different story. I've said that. I've said this. I said this 2 years ago that I thought McDavid is the best player to ever step on ice. I still pretty much feel the same way. A little disappointed by his performances in Game 6 and 7. But it's that far into the season, man. Everyone's dealing with rough injuries. So I don't know what his injuries were. I know they said that he was dealing with some stuff. It sounds like he might have actually had a torn a core muscle injury where he has something torn in his abdomen. I don't know what it is. No, they haven't said. I just those are brutal injuries.
That's what I'm waiting for. That report of like everyone's injuries, because it's going to be bad, and you're going to be like, how are these guys playing on this?
Hockey players are different, man. Hockey players are the toughest guys there are, period. I think football players are really tough. I think hockey players are tougher.
But what about, I said the last 3 minutes of that game, they were dead. They couldn't. I'd never seen anything like that in my life. They were like, I
texted
that line out. Pull that. I don't care the 3 minutes. Pull that fucking line out. They can barely move.
I want to say it was at like the 10-minute mark. From the 10-minute mark till the end of the game, that line played like McDavid played like 8 of the last 10 minutes or something like that. So really it was between minutes 10 and 6. McDavid was on the ice for like 3 straight minutes at one point. And it's like, why? Like, don't get me wrong. He's the best player in the world. I know you want him out there. You're going to have a late push, and you're going to have a late push with the goalie off the ice. I thought they waited too long to pull the goalie also. Waited till a minute 10. That was way too long. They had a face-off in the offensive zone with like 2:30 left or 2:20 something left. I thought that was it right there. Pull him right then. Especially, in my opinion, with how good the Oilers' offense is, I think you actually had the advantage of pulling the goalie even earlier, because even if you gave up an empty netter, that offense is still good enough where they could have probably, where it's possible they still could have overcome a 2-goal deficit in limited time. So I would have at like the 4-minute mark, I'd have been like, fuck it, we're going for it. It's Game 7, we got to win. But it is what it is. It was a great series at the end of the day. Games 1, 2, and 3 were pretty close. I think Game 3 was like Game 2 was like 4-1 or 5-1. Game 4 was a blowout for Edmonton. Game 5 looked like it was going to be a blowout, and then the Panthers fought like hell over the last 30 minutes of that game and made it interesting. I thought Game 6 was pretty interesting until the last like 6 or 7 minutes. And then Game 7, man, I remember the third period rolling around, and I just kept looking at the clock and looking at the clock and looking at the clock. And I swear, man, like they would seem like they played for like 10 straight minutes, and you'd look up at the clock and like 28 seconds had gone off the clock. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Can this shit just end already? Yeah, so it's really cool though. Like it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
I brought my son in to show him. I was like, you got to watch this. I don't like these teams. I don't like these teams either, but you have to watch the best celebration in sports, getting the best trophies. And he came in, he watched with me. He's like, oh, that's pretty cool. I will say one thing I'm very upset with, and you guys have to rectify this down there. No boobs. Last couple of years, women have been throwing it up there during the celebration. They've been throwing them out there. I was looking for the boobs. I'm like, there's no boobs in Florida. There's plenty of boobs in Florida. Come on, ladies. throw a pair out there for the winnings, for the Cup champions.
I mean, maybe they're saving it for the parade.
I was actually surprised with the crowd for Game 7. There was way more kids in the crowd Game 7 than I thought there would be, especially being it's in South Florida. I thought those would be snazzy businessmen and party people with rich dads and shit like that, and it seemed more family oriented, which really shocked me. It's not your typical South Florida sports fan base, so that was cool to see too.
You are a little late, Steve.
Did we just get 5 second round picks? I don't know. Did you?
We moved on to hockey, Steve.
Yeah. Well, to talk about what you're talking about, Ant, I spoke.
They did get 5 second round picks. They traded. They picked the French kid at 25. They traded the 26th pick to the Thunder for 5 second round picks.
Wow.
And the Thunder just have like 57 picks still.
The Thunder had approximately, coming into tonight, they had 185 first round picks over the next like 2 drafts, and 748 second round picks over the next 3 drafts. So it was a deal they were able to make.
Draft picks in the NBA are just whatever. Here. Take my 2072 pick for your 2085. All right, cool. That sounds fun. Let's just do that.
If you ever want to really get your brain in a twister, go read all the traded draft picks over the next 3 years.
I can't even do it.
What
you said before confused the hell out of me. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, they're hard to keep up with.
Yeah, because some of them have like specific rules to them.
This still blows me away. The Knicks just making smart moves. Like this is weird to me.
Okay.
I feel like this has never happened in my lifetime. So I mean, good for
Timmy
Steve.
just won an NBA Finals, and the boss is happier than ever. Make it make sense.
Let him listen. Of the 4 of us, Steve is the only one not able to celebrate a championship right now.
He's lucky to come on because I was gonna be like champion.
Whoa.
And then I would have pointed at him and been like, Grimace? But
wait. I don't want to say it. Steve's a nice guy. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
Say it.
He knows I don't mean this towards him personally, but the Mets are winning their championship right now. Believe me, Terzio's gone, and a certain other someone on that certain other show is going to act like this is the World Series. So
you got to hang up that June banner.
Congratulations!
Best record in baseball in June 2024. Grimace a ring.
And I love Grimace. I'm a big Grimace. I took a picture with Grimace last year before all this started. Remember that?
Tim was ahead on the Grimace bandwagon.
That's right, I was.
The fact that they're not doing it around the Sawgrass Mills Mall, Raul, and literally around Steve's house then really upsets me.
It's in a tough situation there. But I like that they picked Fort Lauderdale Beach. There's a long strip to go there.
And it's not fucking Miami because they don't play in Miami.
Exactly. I don't think they should have been nowhere near Miami. The other idea I had that would have been cool, I just don't know where they would have done it, would have been if they would have done something like the Bucks did and did like a boat parade.
If they were doing the parade outside Steve's house, he'd be out there with that HOA thing, like with the please move away from my yard, move away from my fence. You have no right to be here.
See, Melo, though, with the Tampa Bay thing, though, the Tampa Bay is set up differently where they can have like a boat parade like on the inland on the inlet there, and there's like room and places to do it. That's where the Lightning have done theirs when they've won the Stanley Cup. It's always done right there.
That's why I wouldn't know where exactly they could have done it. But
I'm not sure where they would have done that.
Somewhere in Fort Lauderdale, like there's a bunch of like boats that pass by. I don't know where it would have been feasible or where they would have gone to have like the stage and the
I think the location they picked was a good one. I was looking at the path earlier today where they're going to have the stage set up. I think they did it right.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of space there.
Applauding
the insane.
Applauding the organization for.
And they're doing it on a Sunday, which normally, from what I've noticed, I've never seen a parade done on a weekend. Normally, it's always done during the week. I know that, though, this week they kind of had like a little bit of a conundrum because they do have the NHL draft tomorrow. So they couldn't have done it on Thursday. And then I think it would have just been too soon for today. I don't know. Well, because they have to prep for Thursday. So
the reason they did Sunday, that's what I wanted to talk about. So they win Monday night. The team, they celebrate, obviously, in the city Tuesday. All of the team's front office flew to Vegas. I don't remember if it was Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, and they're going to be in Vegas until Saturday. And they're literally, I can't remember if they said they're flying back Saturday night or first thing Sunday morning, but they're literally like just going to make it back in time for the parade. And that's why they did Sunday, so that all the front office execs could be there to be a part of it. Because had they won in Game 6, I think it was, if I read that right, if they won in Game 6. Well, it would have been hard to do Monday because Game 6 was on Friday. So that means you're having to plan an entire parade route over a Saturday, Sunday, which getting anything done with the city on a weekend is just impossible. So they would have been in a stickier situation. So it worked out. They're able to have everybody there. What's really crazy, though, that there's 14 players on the roster that are free agents. Those players will be part of the parade on Sunday celebrating with the Panthers and then be free to sign with another team on Monday because NHL free agency opens up on Monday, which is crazy. Just a bonkers week of hockey stuff.
Definitely is.
Jesus, so it's like
the whole room is going to be popping.
The draft tomorrow and then the free agency on Monday already. Jeez, they don't fuck around.
Well, I feel like finals, they I don't know if you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they gave too much time in between games.
In my
opinion,
there was a week in between the end of the conference finals and the start of the Stanley Cup. That's why. But that's also because the Stanley Cup dates are usually pre-planned. As far as the dates go, it's just then they determine the cities. Oh, so excuse me. So that's why those dates are already pre-planned, and then they had to build around it.
Yeah.
I mean, it went 7. If it doesn't go 7, we're not having this conversation. If the Panthers had taken care of business in games 4, 5, or 6, we're having a different conversation. But it doesn't matter. They won. That's all that matters. They won.
That's it. The final outcome.
They won. Thank God.
Kachuk and the boys were able to hold up Lordo over their head, took it for a swim in the Atlantic Ocean, took it to the elbow room. Tonight they're going to be at 11 in Miami. So
I love that after all the Oilers fans had raided elbow room on Monday, that the first place they went Tuesday with the cup was elbow room. That made me very happy. Made me very happy that they reclaimed elbow room for the true South Floridians out there that know that elbow room is a staple.
Yes, damn.
If you had magic powers, would you not want to make the Stanley Cup be able to talk?
Oh, hell yeah.
And talk about the shit that poor thing has been through over the past 100 years.
You could attach a camera to that during this time here where they're taking it around going crazy, and over the next couple months as players get their day and players and team execs and coaches get their day with the cup. You could put a camera on that thing every year and have one of the greatest documentary series anyone's ever seen.
And
you probably see a lot of legal things done too, but
guaranteed, someone's pissing in it, someone's shitting. I guarantee they're doing some horrendous things in that cup. That's why I'm not. I think
they respect it too much. I think they respect it too much to do those things to it.
Okay,
but I do think there's been
sexual stuff. That cup better be clean. That cup better be clean when I get it.
Definitely, the Lordo has been in some menage a trois.
You're telling me right now there's not a picture somewhere out there with some chick straddling the fucking Stanley Cup. Oh my God, I guarantee it.
I think, Tim, one thing I do want to say about the Stanley Cup, though, and Tim kind of alluded to it earlier, talking about having his son come and watch the celebration with the Stanley Cup. It is by far, by like a mile, the best trophy in sports. moments.
Absolutely.
Nope.
Absolutely.
And I think you see that in the celebration. Like, don't get me wrong, baseball players get happy when they win a World Series trophy. NBA players get happy when they win a Larry O'Brien. NFL players are happy when they win the Super Bowl. It is nothing like when a guy wins a Stanley Cup, though. It's a totally different beast.
I try to explain to him. I said, listen, football, of course, is my number one favorite sport. But I said, but this is the best trophy to win, the hardest trophy to win, the best trophy. I say baseball has the best opening day, but football, is my favorite sport. So it just depends on what you like. But yeah, I told him, you got to watch this. Come watch this for 2 minutes. He's like, what are they doing? I said, they all get to fucking carry it. They're all going to kiss it. They're all going to skate around and, turn into children for 30 seconds when they have that cup in the air. It's fantastic.
And to hear the stories of guys carrying that with ruptured spleens, broken arms, dislocated shoulders, broken wrists.
And it makes you hate people a little less. Like I hated, what's his name? Wow, I'm drawing a blank now. I'm getting old. Washington. What's his name?
Oh, Ovechkin.
Yeah, I hate Ovechkin, but that watching him with the cup, drunk off his ass for those few days, I was like, dude, how can you not love the fact that this guy's bombed off his fucking everywhere with the Stanley Cup? I was like, dude, that's fantastic. You gotta love it.
It's the most prestigious trophy in sports, and the fact that there's only one of them is the coolest thing about it. Technically speaking, there is 3, but it's the same one that's been passed around for the last 120 years or whatever it is. The other 2 they're not replicas. They're still like full-size Stanley Cups, but they sit in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and the only purpose of them is to hold the old nameplates, because as time goes on and the fills up with names, because every team gets a slot there where they can put 50 names on there of team coaches, players, coaches, and executives. They get to pick the 50 who get on the cup. That as time goes on, though, they remove some of the older plates, and instead of just taking the plate and storing it somewhere, they have had other cups built that they store them on at the Hockey Hall of Fame, which I think is really cool. So
that is dope.
Listen, it's the Stanley Cup, and then it's the Andre Memorial Battle Royal statue. Those are the two best in sports.
Hands down. Hands down.
I mean, I think all the hockey trophies are pretty dope. Like, I think they have the best line of trophies.
All right, so we've covered the important sports stuff, and there's no good NFL stuff to cover. Since Steve's not here, does this mean we get to do some wrestling?
Do some wrestling.
Can do some wrestling. I will say one thing before we part from Stanley Cup talk. I do want to give a couple thanks to a couple people that made the Stanley Cup possible. First up, I want to thank Bill Zito. Fantastic GM. Like, he's been amazing in that front office. And then I also want to thank, Jonathan Huberdeau for sucking ass so that Zito could trade him and bring home Kachuk and turn this organization around.
He didn't suck, though. He was really good for Florida. He's only sucked since he left Florida.
He wasn't that great in the playoffs.
You missed one person that needs to be thanked, and one person that truly made this possible for the Florida Panthers.
I wonder if it's who I'm thinking.
Vincent Viola, the team owner, because the Panthers finally got a fucking owner that is actually committed to spending money and putting a good product on the ice and making a good experience for fans and on and on and on. They have a real owner that's interested. Like, yes, I'm sure he still wants to make money, but he's actually interested in fielding a competitive team and not just collecting a paycheck. And that has been the biggest turnaround, in my opinion, for that franchise, has been him coming in as the owner of the team. So, and seeing Zito cry on the ice was
Zito went through every single emotion you could think of that whole entire series. He was angry.
Oh, God.
He was depressed. Then he was happy. He was crying. Like, it's just incredible. That guy shows all of his emotions, and it's good to see that he actually truly cares. And, he definitely cares about these boys.
Vincent Viola, by the way, an Italian-American from Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yes.
The Celtics made their pick. Baylor Schreiwen from somewhere. No video package. No recruitment video. No stats. Just Celtics pick this guy. Let's go on the next pick. The fuck is that about? Still no respect. What the fuck is going on here? That's all I had to say.
The last person I want to thank is the unluckiest NHL player in the Stanley Cup Finals, and that is Corey Perry. Because, my God, the man just can't catch a break. He goes to the team.
He's won a Stanley Cup. He won a Stanley Cup.
The last like 4, like he goes and joins the team that beat him twice.
4 of the last 5. It's 4 of the last 5.
He goes to join Tampa
I don't
Bay.
fucking like that guy anyway, so I don't care.
But thank you for not being on the Panthers and being on Edmonton, and just happy we won.
Just here, quick scouting report for you, Tim, on your new Boston Celtic, Baylor Shearman.
White guy, by the way.
Is
There's a shock.
5-year senior from Creighton. Started his collegiate career at South Dakota State, and then transferred to Creighton for his 2 senior seasons that he got. Don't ask me why he got 2 senior years, because I don't know. Seems like he is a good 3-point shooter and can score a little bit, but he's white, so maybe not.
That's why they drafted him. I mean, come on, we're supposed to be talking about Boston here.
They wanted another Scalabrine.
The fact that the Celtics fans celebrating outside the arena, the first person they saw that was not white, that was wearing a Jaylen Brown jersey, and the fans mobbed him because they thought it actually was Jaylen Brown, was by far the most Boston thing I saw.
It was hilarious.
And the fact
mobbing him outside of the arena.
They had a parade on the duck boats. I mean, come on, really, Boston. That's what we're gonna do. New York, we have the Canyon of Heroes, where people who've landed on the moon have fucking went down, and you guys are putting your players on ducks.
Well, some of them were it didn't even look like a duck boat. It looked like a garbage truck, like one of those big ones. That was like, wow, go Boston. We did it.
Oh, well, I guess Tim's not. Oh, by the way, Jason Tatum is by far the least unique person in the world. How the fuck is every single thing he does in his celebration going to be something someone else did in theirs?
I guess we'll never know.
Okay, there.
Ooh, I'm sorry. They're showing the hurricane, all the shit that happened from the hurricane. Well, what we just had.
People ask why they don't like Jason Tatum, and he gave everyone 1,000,001 reasons why in this final, winning the finals. But that's beyond that. Timmy, do you want to go ahead and change the background? And
I don't think we have a wrestling background, do we? You just put there.
You can pop up with. You can pop up the other thing.
I can switch brands.
You can even put the video.
No, I'm not going to play the video. That's too much.
Midstream. Intermission.
We can pop this up there. I can just pop. Where is my background?
Let me see if it pops up. Oh, I have it on this one, actually.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Welcome, everyone, now to the intermission of Unsportsmanlike Conduct, where we just transitioned to the Just Too Sweet show.
Woo.
And I got to change my name because I'm not Melo on the show. I am now Hollywood Dave.
Sorry. It's the first one I saw when I clicked it on.
All right. So, Ant, what did you want to talk about? Wrestling.
I wanted to open the floor up to you guys. We haven't had a chance to really. I know we send messages back all the time.
Well, this weekend, there is a very good pay-per-view happening on Sunday, June 30th. I think it's actually in New York, if I'm not wrong. And it is none other than Forbidden Door, which, Timmy, we can do a prediction show this weekend if you are available. And you're more than welcome to stop by if you want to talk about real professional wrestling. Not,
Circus de Soleil. Is that what you said?
Hocus pocus, things going on in the back.
Don't disparage the Wyatt Six. That was a phenomenal beginning. It was a phenomenal beginning for them.
And
if they can maintain that, I don't know. As good as
it's not quite as good as Kane. No, I don't think it is.
I think Kane's the greatest debut ever.
Well, I think Paul Bearer had a lot to do with that.
That lasted years. Don't forget, that lasted years. That fucking, when he came in.
That's why I think that one, I don't put it in my top 5 just because I started thinking about different other people that debuted, and like Kane's was great. I think
his is the most memorable.
Cody's was also pretty good.
Who's?
Cody? WrestleMania? Oh, come on.
No, we knew it was coming.
Came home.
No, you knew it was. You didn't know
AJ
Fame was coming.
Styles.
AJ was good.
Yeah,
I
I'll give you
think
that one.
this wasn't a debut, but it was a return. I think the Hardys at WrestleMania wasn't a debut, but it was a return, which is what this could be kind of seen as because they're all returning guys.
That's fair. I want no qualms there. That's fair.
No, but the brilliance behind this is all these guys were picked for a specific reason, and the people they attacked were all picked for a specific reason. And if you don't think they're not planning ahead, you're out of your fucking mind. Because Nikki Cross was picked for, she was the abandoned one. Dexter Lumis was picked because he was never given the opportunity, never given a chance. Eric Rowan was technically cast out and thrown out. He wasn't really thrown out. He left. But so all these guys were picked for a specific reason. And then who would they pick on? Chad Gable. Why? Because he just turned his back on his family. I mean, they said this is all a storyline that if they keep it up and they keep it going and they keep this kind of thing relevant, it's going to be great.
Yeah, 100%. I agree that the debut was amazing. I don't know that I've ever seen something like that, like the way that they shot it with the whole one shot all the way in back to where Uncle Howdy is, and then the one shot all the way back out to the five of them. I think that's really cool.
And then that next interview with Bo Dallas this past weekend was
God, so good.
I'd love to take credit for it, but I can't. I'm gonna give credit to fucking Bubba Ray Dudley on that other show.
Please don't give that man any credit.
On the second best wrestling show, that guy. No, but he said it. He said it when he watched it. That was not Bo Dallas.
Oh no,
that was Taylor Wyndham. Taylor Wyndham spoke from the heart. He spoke truth. You could tell how emotional he still is about his brother passing away. His brother was his hero. That was not Bo Dallas, and he should not even use that name ever again. He should just be Taylor Wyndham because that who spoke. And I was like, you're fucking absolutely 1,000% right.
They haven't said it's Bo, right?
No.
Okay.
And they shouldn't. I agree. They should not use that name. He should be Taylor Wyndham.
Yeah, I agree with you there. He's again that whole interview. I was like, wow, great fucking job. Yeah, right now, I don't know obviously where they're gonna go with it, but man, if Triple H is letting him go the way that he wants to go and not having too much pushback, man, I'm excited.
What about the fact that whole interview is in the Funhouse?
Yes.
I didn't even notice that at first. I saw it on Twitter. I think I shared it in the group. I saw that on Twitter. Someone posted it, and then I went back and looked. And I'm like, holy fuck! They're sitting in the Funhouse doing this interview between the two of them. I'm like, that's wow! Just gives you chills, man. You get like goosebumps just thinking about it.
Have you guys both watched the documentary, the Bray Wyatt documentary?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Those last like 30 minutes, I was like,
that
was rough.
Steve said it hit him many times at the heartstrings.
It was done extremely well the way they did it. I was very happy with it.
Me too. I'm glad a lot of the stuff they showed, like behind the scenes that I never knew. That was great.
I saw. I want to put it back up real quick. I saw some people talking about this take. I think it could still be a while before we actually see them in actual wrestling matches.
I think so.
I think it's gonna be a lot of lingering, a lot of attacking certain individuals, a lot of things like what we saw on Monday with these pre-recorded video sessions and things like that. I think it's gonna be a lot of that stuff for a while.
And we may still have one more member to go.
I thought was supposed to be Bray.
I go back and forth on that all the time on whether
why did they
just be Bray.
But why did they randomly show Alexa Bliss's picture on the truck the other day, like they usually do when they're going to do something? There's a lot of on the truck, and not old little Alexa. Things. It was Funhouse Alexa Bliss's face painted on the side, and they lingered on that shot for a minute. I was like, she's coming back. So
she's definitely coming back.
So
I wonder.
I just wanted to also add real quick though. Dexter Lumis looks like an actual serial killer.
He looks that was his gimmick.
Yeah, he looks like Stone Cold on drugs. That's exactly what it looks like.
Which is great. which is perfect. And and I love it. But yeah, he legit, if any of these people were legit gonna kill somebody, it's 100% extra Loomis.
Oh yeah. Steve, I won't have you talking about my wife like that.
Your wife is Liv. Calm down. You leave Alexa alone.
That's my girlfriend.
I think Steve ignored your advice on passing up on him partaking in his extracurriculars this evening.
Raul brought it up. We'll talk about that real quick. And I know Dave loves it. Yet another Samoan has popped up in the World Wrestling Entertainment. Jacob Fatu finally made his big debut. He came in and destroyed a couple guys, and not just a couple guys. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and the American blonde guy.
And broke 2 of Cody Rhodes' ribs on that frog splash off the top rope there.
Now, is that kayfabe or is that real?
Depends on what you want to believe. Cody said that he legit broke 2 ribs, so I don't know if it's true or not. But
all right,
if you watch it again, the bump looked rough, so it wouldn't shock me.
I said now we're moving towards the blood, the feud that I predicted. I don't see who's going to be who now.
I think so.
Solo side's getting thick.
I saw a theory that Jacob has actually been sent by Roman to keep things in check, and that Jacob will actually be on Roman's side of this.
Now, do they put Sika's death into this? I say absolutely they do.
You have to. I think you have to acknowledge it at least. No pun intended. You have to say it. It was appropriate, but I think you have to talk about it at least. Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes, because I do think they probably waited the right amount of time to bring in Jacob, and I'm not sure how much longer they're going to be able to wait on Roman, though, because I think we're going to need to get him back here pretty soon to start.
Well, he's supposed to make TV in July, so we're not too far away from him.
We're close. Back. We're close then.
Because he's supposed to be at SummerSlam.
July's next week.
Along with a certain other Paul Heyman guy. Supposed to be returning also.
Brock? Oh, yeah. Really? I did not hear that.
It's rumors that he is making his return also at SummerSlam, which means he'll start popping up in July also. But as far as the Samoans thing is, I still think it's going to be the Romans are going to come back. Solo and them are going to turn on him, beat his ass, send him out. Rock's going to be behind it. So I think it's going to be Rock, Solo, and the Tongans. I think Jacob is going to switch. Roman, the Usos, and Jacob Fatu are my 4 guys for that side. Unless you need one more. I don't know who that's going to be.
What if you do keep it at 5 and you go 5-on-5? Is Sammy and the Usos the 4 for Roman, and then you add one more? Because I saw this storyline about that. So obviously this is a whole family thing, and there's numerous interviews you can find online about Roman Reigns talking about his actual relationship with Seth Rollins and how he considers him a brother and like family and blah 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 blah. Do we go the long-term story building route where now he has to reconcile with Seth because he needs a 5th for this battle, or is that something that's kind of beneath what Seth gets booked at now? Because I actually like the idea of it, but I don't know if it actually works.
I mean, he's gonna need something after he loses the Priest, so
yeah, I see that one coming a mile away. I don't like that. You know why I think they brought Seth back when they did? They are trying their hardest to put Priest with people who can cut promos and just praying to God that Priest gets better at it, because he is not great at it. He is not great at promos. I like him in the ring, but he is not great at promos.
I don't like when because I mean, you guys can tell me if you think otherwise, but I don't think his Spanish is great. His Spanish is kind of bad sometimes. And then
he's from 10 minutes. He's from 10 minutes from here. Okay, I got to get behind the guy. Him and Zelina, both of them.
At least Zelina, when she talks Spanish, doesn't sound like a fool. I feel like when he does it, it's like he's still like not sure what he's supposed to say. So it's like, don't start going back and forth between the two, because then you're just going to mumble everything.
Is he a face or a heel? No one can answer that question. Is the Judgment Day face or heel?
He's a face, I would say.
So the Judgment Day are heels.
So.
That's
I think they're in that weird. I think they're in the weird middle ground where, for someone like Priest, it depends on who he's pitted against. If he's a face or a heel.
Dom's a heel, definitely. Liv's poking around. She's a heel. Carlito, by the way,
heel, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ray is. I mean, we don't know.
No, she's not a heel. People still love mommy.
Yeah, but she's technically a heel in a heel group.
But then I feel like people like Finn Balor, but they don't like JD McDonough.
JD's not that good. Finn's a goat.
Where does Carlito fit in all this? I don't understand.
Comedic.
Yeah.
That's what he's
But
there
I
for.
would have
Comedic relief.
rather R-Truth.
Well, R-Truth should pop up with the Wyatts. No, but even my kid was watching. He's like, Carlito said, "Ooh, that's cool." He goes, "Why does he keep saying that?" I said, "That was his catchphrase back in the day. He was cool." And I said, I think he's there for comedic value. That's really all he's there. But I said,
I think he's been good in that role for them.
Has to establish, are they fucking heel? Because I can't. Damian Priest every week. I can't figure out what he is. Are you a heel? Are you a face? Who you? It doesn't make any sense to me.
It feels like this push is not going how they had hoped it would, and some of that's on Priest. Like I said, his promos are they're so difficult. They feel so forced. It feels like he's reading, like he's basically just holding the paper there. Oh yeah, and then I said this. It's like, come on, man. Just
Sometimes
I don't know.
You have to find your niche. See, I think Liv found her niche, playing the psychotic, bitchy girlfriend is her niche, because she's not really that
Dave
great.
hates her. I don't know why.
I don't hate her. I just don't think she's that great, and I don't see the appeal that you guys have with her.
I don't care about her ring prowess at all. I'm just let's just get that straight.
I'm talking about that too. I'm talking about that as well. Like, I don't find the appeal.
Hey,
I find Samantha more appealing than her.
I like her thighs. She has good thighs.
I will say her little interactions with Dominic are really well, and I'm curious to see when mommy comes back where that goes.
Well, see, this is the thing. Rhea was cheered so much and loved so much, she can't be a heel no more.
Yeah, no.
If she comes back, she's going to be a face. That's simple as that.
But the problem is that they're not doing a good job of turning Liv into a true heel, because she still gets allowed, not Rhea pops, but she still gets pops when she shows up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is this a weird situation where the women's division kind of misses Becky Lynch?
I don't miss her.
Just a question. I'm not saying I agree with it.
Not yet. I don't think yet. I think the women's division is kind of stuck right now without Rhea there, but I think they're holding it okay.
But you also don't have Charlotte.
When is she coming back? I thought that was supposed to have happened already.
Probably by SummerSlam also.
Maybe that's
not that far off though. That's 5-6 weeks out.
Well, she has to come back and win her 18th.
And who's she feuding? Who's she feuding with when she comes back? Bayley?
Probably, and she's gonna win the championship for the 15th time.
Yep, I don't like Bayley. She's gonna beat Daddy.
Thank you, Ant. I've been saying this for however long the Just Too Sweet show has been going on. I don't understand. I thought 2020 Bayley was the absolute worst thing on my television. I don't understand why they gave her the belts, and then they made her lose it, and they gave her that belt, and then they gave her the tag team belt. I'm like, get her off my television screen. Like, I was so happy when there was that good span about nothing with Bayley, and now we're back in the Bayley era.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Bayley fan. So it's just.
Me neither. I'm not really a big women division fan right now either. I don't.
Well, that I agree with as well.
So
I mean, there's one thing I like of the women's division right now, and I'm curious to see if they're gonna pull the trigger on her, just because I think it'd be fun, and that's Chelsea Green.
She's definitely a good heel. That's for sure.
And she knows how to get under people's skin. I feel like that'd be good. So if she wins Money in the Bank, and you play into that like cowardly thing. When is she gonna cash in? She's still getting beat all the time since they love doing that to the Money in the Bank winners.
But let me ask you something, Dave. Do you feel like I feel it's going back to how good looking they are? I think the wrestling has really taken a huge tumble. I love Liv Morgan. Is she a phenomenal wrestler? No. You know, this is why they keep going back to fucking Charlotte. And I know you don't like Becky, but she's not Becky. Bayley, but she's still a decent wrestler. Becky, these are the best women wrestlers. That's why they keep going back to them. Liv is eye candy. Ray is a good wrestler, actually.
Well, I mean, NXT has a couple good girls, but
Yeah, but are they ready for
They're not ready yet.
for the prime time
What's
yet?
going on? Is what they had Bianca and Jade drop the tag titles. What's up with Bianca?
Bianca is a good also. She's good.
Yeah, she's very good in the ring.
Jade Cargill is not, unfortunately, but she's a beast.
They're trying to. They're trying to get her there,
wrestler, but her lack of
who she is
hurts her.
You know who she is? Goldberg.
She is not Goldberg. Braun Breaker's Goldberg.
No, in AEW.
No, stop it. Stop.
In AEW, they pushed her to being this great unstoppable force. She comes to WWE and she can't fucking wrestle for shit or do promos for shit at Cargill.
Because AEW knew how to book her.
Undefeated. They just booked her undefeated.
Yeah, but
I can't believe you said that about Braun Breaker. That really.
Now, like what WWE is tried to do, because I don't know if they're still going to go with them as a tag team, was try to hide her in a tag team where she only has to go out there every now and then. But then you have what happened in Clash of the Castle, where how many times did she botch in that ring in a matter of like 3-4 minutes she was in there?
Mm-hmm.
It was
bad.
So honestly, she needs. I'm surprised they didn't try and get her into NXT a little bit, have her develop a little more.
She was already a name, so it's like they wanted to capture her.
By the time she made her first appearance, the time she actually first wrestled, that was a few months. They did put her through the ringer, and she's still not great. So I don't know what they'll do with her. They gotta get Bianca away from her. They just do. Turn her heel maybe, because you're hurting Bianca now.
They could feud them.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Turn her heel and you feud with Bianca. Maybe Bianca can bring the best out of her.
I thought that's what they were eventually going to build up to, but I think they're probably scared to put Bianca with. They're scared she'll get hurt.
Not like fucking Nia, who hurts everyone she touches.
Hey, well, she's fighting Bailey, right? At SummerSlam?
I believe so.
Is she?
I think that's because she won the Queen of the Ring. So I think assuming she's going to choose Bailey. Because she's on, I don't know if she's on SmackDown or Raw. Yeah, because Gunther is said that he's going after Priest. He's not going after
the only two matches set for SummerSlam are Bailey versus Nia and Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. Which, by the way, is it just me or was Rollins supposed to be out till like October?
Yeah, he's supposed to be out a lot longer. I'm not.
I hope they're not rushing him back too soon and he re-injures his knee, because that guy's amazing.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want about the way he dresses. That there ain't nobody cutting promos like him. There ain't nobody working like him. No. Cody can't. Stop.
I like not telling me Cody cannot cut a promo because the man could cut a promo.
I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he can't. Oh yeah, because he just talks about his dad every time. Come on.
Spoken about poor.
No, Tim knows. Tim knows that's the only time I'll cut a promo.
I've never liked Cody.
I don't dislike Cody. I think he's very good. He's very talented. I think he's a little overrated. Not saying he's not deserving of a world title or anything like that. I think he is overrated, though. I think Seth is hands down their best male performer. Not even close.
That is crazy to say. Because Seth Rollins, I could have told you he should have lost that belt 6 months ago.
No, that I agree
with. His title reign went way too long, and that shit got boring and old so fast.
He still carried it pretty decently, though. He makes the best out of not the best situations. And I still say
you could have thrown anyone else into that feud with The Rock and Roman, and it still would have been good. It didn't. Seth Rollins didn't bring anything to that table.
I totally disagree.
What he brought to the table was that last.
You're completely ignoring that he has any background with Roman by saying that.
Yes, but I'm saying the only relevance he brought to that was that second night. You could have put Dean Ambrose in that. Yeah, I said Dean Ambrose in that same match, and it would have been the same thing.
Dean Ambrose. They wouldn't have allowed Dean Ambrose to stab himself with a fork, so it would have never happened.
He needs blood. Oh, let's talk about the blood. Let's talk about that real quick.
Fake blood's kind of.
What is going on with the fake blood?
It's kind of bad.
Is that what we've come to?
It's because you have Cookie Monster Punk back there politicking, and hey, don't you guys can't hurt yourself.
Yeah, it's all CM Punk fault. He can't use real blood.
Yeah. So hey,
No, it's bad too. It's not even like.
Do you think they're buying time
real.
to Netflix?
I think so.
I guess so. Yeah, because they're really. It drives me nuts. They're really drowning out the audio way too much. It's like, I heard someone say darn, let me push the button. Oh, I heard someone say damn, let me push the button. It's like every time you hear commentating, it's because they're fucking blocking everything out.
Crazy. It drives me insane. That's why, honestly, like Monday when I had it on, I didn't have the volume on for most of it because I had the Panthers game on too. It's like, well, this is perfect.
When it goes to Netflix, it's gonna be like I just make this reference. I just saw the movie tonight. It's gonna be like South Park when the kids hear Terrence and Philip Kurtz for the first time. We're all gonna be like, because we hear all these wrestlers just effing this and effing that. We're like,
well, they're saying that the first one's gonna be Ant's boy instead of it being freaking Rollins, is gonna be fucking Rollins.
That's just a no for me. That's a no. You don't need to overdo it just because you can do it.
Like AEW tried to.
Yeah, just because you can. Just because you can jump off of a ledge onto a pile of bricks, don't mean you should do it.
Yeah, but you do it for the art.
So, not to backtrack, Dave, what's your hatred towards Jacob Fatu?
I have no hatred towards Jacob Fatu, but you take that same everything he did, the fucking 5 super kicks he did that AEW gets criticized about, the spots, all this other shit about people getting hurt. You put that in AEW, and it's the most criticized thing in the world. It's just that's why I laughed when I read your guys the chat.
Yeah, because they would do it for no reason with no storytelling behind it.
You were blowing him up. I'm like, yeah, I bet you if he debuted in AEW, did the same thing, you guys would be like, wow, this was terrible. My goodness. Oh, another super kick? Oh my goodness. Another high spot?
He did too. And as far as like the Usos match at Mania, where it was just super kick after super, the whole match was just super kicks. I was bitching about it the same way you guys were.
That was the worst match at WrestleMania. That was the worst match.
That was not the worst match at WrestleMania.
That was the worst match.
It was not. It was not worse than the Karrion Kross one and the new Hurt Business, whatever. I don't know what they're called.
Oh, that
one was terrible. There was the women's tag team match was also awful.
Considering who the Usos are, though, they're one of the greatest tag teams, if not the greatest tag team, and they put on a shit bomb. For the first time they get to be one-on-one on WrestleMania, making their dream come true. And
they both talked about it.
I don't think it was that bad. I don't think it was great, but I don't think it was that bad. It was definitely not the worst. We can go through that match card right now, and it was not the worst.
I agree with everything on this list except for Bayley. I just don't like her. I'm sorry. Sorry, Raul. She's the only one. The rest of them I totally agree with. They're great in the ring, but Bayley, I don't know, man.
Next show, I'm gonna do her entrance now. The old entrance.
With the wacky inflatable arm flailing tube bend.
Oh yeah. And since we were talking about the bloodline, there is another one that they signed.
Look at that.
The 6'10" kid. I forgot. I don't know his name.
Is it like Kale something with an H, right?
He's a freakishly athletic kid as well.
But it's like
but in a different way. He's just
for that thing. You say that same thing to AEW. Oh man, they just signed this kid from New Japan. Oh, okay, some other guy from New Japan who doesn't know how to work, who doesn't know how to go to promo. Why would be excited about that?
When have I ever said that?
I don't care either way.
When have I ever said that?
I'm saying this is the stigma between, your.
No, the stigma is that they suck at storytelling. There's no storytelling.
They suck at storytelling. Right now, they're telling a great story with the EVPs.
No, my stigma is New Japan.
The same fucking 2 people the story's been about for the last 5 years.
It has not been the same story.
It's the fucking same thing.
It is not.
They
never betrayed Kenny Omega, and they did it finally.
I will say, just to bring this up, because I know Dave thinks that I only talk negatively about AEW, which is mostly true. I am very excited for the MJF Will Ospreay build up. I'm not gonna lie about that. If they're truly building towards that, I'm very excited about that.
Who wins that match?
It has to be MJF. Has to be. It has to be. It has to be.
And then
here's why.
And then your big free agent Will Ospreay fucks off. That's the problem with AEW.
He's not gonna do that.
No, I'm saying no, Dave. I'm not talking bad about it. What I'm saying is he has to win.
Oh, if he loses. Oh,
if he loses,
MJF?
No. Ospreay has to win.
Oh.
Because if he loses now, your big free agent that you brought over is just another fuckboy, like all the other free agents you bring over who's supposed to be the greatest thing in the world. No, he has to win. If he loses, especially clean, go fucking back to England. There's no point you being here anymore.
Well, we're gonna get ahead of ourselves here because I don't know if he's gonna win on Sunday. He's not fighting MJF. He's fighting Swerve Strickland for the AEW championship.
Well, he should win.
I don't know if they're gonna take that belt off of Swerve right now.
They might not, but
why would they see this? This is the stuff I'm talking about, though. That's so stupid.
I don't really understand why they booked these two guys together for this match, but that's the main event for Sunday.
Because that is what we're talking about. That's the AEW.
This is exactly what we're talking about.
Look, they don't know how to.
There's got to be something. Tony Khan's coming up with something. What it is, I don't know. Maybe MJF comes in
believing in him. Yo, as soon as they bring in someone who knows how to book, they will be a real threat.
I've said it before. Bring in, and after watching this, we can actually talk about that now too. After watching this waste of a time of a documentary that The Rock made, why the hell has Tony Khan not brought in Eric Bischoff to book?
Because Eric Bischoff says negative things about him, so he gets butthurt about it and doesn't want to.
He's got to put that aside for what the business is.
It would be a smart move.
Fucking amazing having Bischoff.
It would be a smart move. Be a smart move. Should do it 100%.
Look at the other dude from the fucking Bullet Club. They brought that guy in with all the fanfare. He's under the nickel and dime shit deal now. Jay, what's his name? Jay.
Oh, Jay. He's got he's with the Gun Club.
Oh, but that's the whole point.
They're the trios champion. What are you guys talking about? They're good. They're just on Collision. They're on Saturday.
Trios.
They're on Saturday. You don't see them. But I'm gonna go back to Bischoff. Yes, he should get signed. But I don't think he should ever come out on TV. I think he should just leave it in the past. Just have him in the back. Worry about booking. Have him in that Bruce Pritchard role.
You don't even have to bring him in. He can do that shit remotely.
I don't think that documentary was bad either. The last episode sucked.
I don't think it was bad. It just told me, okay, out of the 4 episodes, okay, let me stop. I'm gonna go with MJF, and then we'll go to that. Okay. I don't think MJF beats Ospreay, and I don't think he beats him clean though. I think you need to have Ospreay win, like Timmy said, to make sure you keep your top guy happy.
Change my opinion on that. I do agree with Tim on that. He's right.
But then you have him lose because you have to finish that Adam Cole storyline. It's such a detriment if they don't, and I think that's how you pay it off.
MJF can lose right now, and it's not going to affect him whatsoever. He's still going to be the most popular guy there, the number one guy there, no matter what. Will Ospreay loses, go back to fucking England. Go back to England.
It kills everything they built with him. I agree completely. You're right on that. So he probably does have to win that. But none of the. I sent you that promo that you did the other day. That shit was hilarious. I was crying laughing. That was great. No, like I said, I poke fun at it more so to get at you because some of it's not bad, and they do have some very talented wrestlers. I can't stand the constant reversals in matches sometimes where every fucking move is a reverse. That shit drives me insane. If I wanted to watch Circus du Soleil, I would drive over to Disney Springs and actually pay to watch it. That stuff they need to slow down on that stuff because in my opinion it ruins momentum of matches when you have stuff like that happen, and I hate it.
It's not the wrestlers. It's this fucking storytelling. It's the booking. It's just terrible.
They have a lot of really good talent over there. A lot of really good talent over there.
Yeah, they got John Moxley, Darby Allin.
I think Moxley has.
You just said the 2 worst people in that company. The 2 worst people in that company you just mentioned.
Moxley has gone way too far down this, forks and just stupid shit.
Darby Allin's a crash test dummy. That's all he is. All he is.
Yeah,
he's a crash
I think he's terrible.
He should be in a backyard in Long Island somewhere, jumping through fucking tables, not on national television, pretending to be a wrestler.
Who's the guy who says what is it? Eat all my gigolos and gigolettes, and then jumps on like the cheese graters.
Yeah,
and shit?
I know talking about that guy. Yeah,
that's Darby Allin.
Superhuman. You've seen those videos?
No.
What's it called? What's his name?
Superhuman, I think it's called.
Superhuman,
like
yeah, Superhuman. I'll send you some videos. They're
Dude,
funny, but they're not funny in a
Jumps
good
on
way.
cheese graters.
he goes, this is for, he's a fucking what's that group? Insane Clown Posse fan. So right there, he's already stupid.
Okay.
He this is for my juggalos and juggalettes. I'm gonna jump through on top of a microwave, and he jumps off a table onto a microwave, and he breaks his elbow almost like every week. It's the worst thing ever, and he has like 1,000 videos.
Yeah.
He mumbles his way through his little speech, and then he jumps on like, this is a mattress filled with broken glass and GI Joes or like Lego or something like that. And he fucking jumps on him. He goes, ah! He screams every time he does it.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Yeah, that is Darby Allin.
That's Darby Allin. Every time I see Darby Allin, that's the exact thing I think of as Superhuman. That's what I think of when I see Darby Allin. I'm like, this is just fucking horrible.
Oh my goodness. Well, and have you seen the Who Killed WCW doc yet?
I have not watched it yet. I need to. I haven't watched it yet.
So, spoiler alert: WCW does go out of business.
Damn it! Way to ruin it.
But I feel like, Tim, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I felt like there was only like 20% of new stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Some even the story again. Now we have another story of something that happened at Bash at the Beach 2000.
Which one now? Which one are you talking about?
Because like how before it was like, oh, okay, they were in on it, like they knew what was happening. Now they said like Russo said what he was gonna do, and then what was it? Now Eric Bischoff said that they didn't know that he was gonna cut that promo or some shit like that.
Well, we talked about that a while ago. This happened when they did the Dark Side of the Ring match at the beach. They did it.
But no, but there was something different that happened this time.
Oh, there's always something different, Dave. There's always something.
And I was like, man, now there's something else. It still leads to the same thing, but it's...
And again, they always change their minds. In this one, they said that Hulk Hogan's idea was to join the NWO, which is completely false for the past 20 years. Because they said how they took him to convince him to join the NWO, and he didn't decide until the last minute. This one's like, no, Hogan called me up and said, I'm the third man, brother. It's like, dude, that's not this fucking story you've been telling for 30 years.
Hall and Nash stood by that story for years. That into the match, they didn't know if he was going to be with them or not.
If you watch it, Bischoff will say, he says flat out, Hulk Hogan called me and said, "I'm the third man." No, that's not the story for 30 years. For 30 years, he took convincing. So it's like, oh god, I don't know who to tell. No, the Bash at the Beach thing was, and again, I can't believe Vince Russo only because Hogan did have creative control. So it doesn't make sense for him to do it. But if he did it, that's why he got sued.
But then that's why they also didn't talk about the whole change. That was on the other one that they talked about the changing of the scripts and all this other stuff, and that he kept going to Hogan, and Hogan kept saying no.
Yeah,
but that wasn't in this one.
Because Hogan walked in, was supposed to lose, decided no, I'm not losing today. And then he's like, "What do you mean you're not losing?" So he kept rewriting, and supposedly that was all written that Jarrett was going to lay down, Hogan was going to pin him, walk out with the belt pissed off, leave the building, and not be seen for a couple months, come back eventually and challenge Booker T, whoever the champion was, saying, "I'm the real champion, I never lost." That's how he's making his big comeback at Halloween Havoc. That's the story that they're giving now, which by the way, was not the story for the past 10 years, whatever it's been. Now that's the story. So Hogan and Bischoff leave, but Russo goes back out and gives his big promo. You'll never see that son of a bitch again, and he wasn't supposed to do that, and gave the fucking title to Booker T that night. So that's why Hogan sued, and Bischoff laughed. You can't believe any of these guys. They're all fucking crazy.
Which, if that's the real story, why would that upset Hulk Hogan? If the whole thing is for you to actually leave and then come back weeks or months after,
because
Russo cut the extra promo. That's why.
Yeah,
but that if anything, I don't know. I think that's dumb.
I don't think they liked each other to begin with, and then Russo goes out there unscripted and cuts that extra promo. At that point, the writing was on the wall that the place was falling apart anyway, and now Russo's in control.
And it was what he said in that promo.
So it's like
called Hogan a piece of shit. Told people about the creative control card. Yeah, called them politics, creative control. Called him a piece of shit. I think that was what it was that pissed him off.
Yeah,
but I feel like that still builds like whenever he would have returned, that pop.
What's your payoff with Hogan feuding with Vince Russo?
None. No, the whole thing. He was supposed to come back and challenge Booker T, saying, "Look, I never lost that title."
You could have,
right? But
you know
I'm saying to Melo's point. If you're saying like, oh, why would it bother him? Because it's stupid. There's nowhere to go with it. There's no
payoff
future with that storyline.
There is a payoff if you go again. We're talking about Vince Russo here, so as it was stated in the documentary, he tried to at one point just insert himself into things that he probably shouldn't have been in, like making himself a character. So this would have been a great way for him to make himself another Vince, and Hogan could have came back and been that anti-figure to fight him.
But you can't do that with someone who's just being inserted. Like with Vince, you had years and years and years and years of buildup for a lot of that stuff. And you saw the whole path of him, you know, from just being the announcer guy to just now he's doing this and now he's doing that. And Russo just came in out of nowhere and was like, haha, he's a piece of shit.
I put it in the chat. What he said. He said he was better than 80% of the people there. Russo was a better character than 80% of the people in WCW.
You missed a couple bros in that.
Yeah, bro. I'm sorry, bro. He said, "Bro, I'm better than 80% of the people here, bro." Like what?
Yeah,
80%? Are you kidding me? And what about the other story they changed again? Again, I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm getting annoyed. The Sting one, the one with Sting.
Which one? The Crow?
With Hogan at Bash at the Beach, not Bash at the Beach.
Wait, no, wasn't it Starrcade?
Starrcade. He was, they changed it at the last minute again because Hogan said Sting's not ready. Like he's not ready. I can see it in his eyes. He's not ready for this. We're changing the finish. It's like what?
And and
it was a horrible finish, and it ruined the whole night and ruined an entire year worth of storytelling because supposedly Hogan said no, he's not ready. We're changing the finish, and that fucked everything up. That's brand new. That's a whole brand new story that I never heard before. Another plot twist.
I think for as much as Hogan, especially with his NWO switch, helped carry them for so long, he has a large part in the reason they ultimately ended up falling apart as well.
Well, who killed WCW then, Dave? Who killed it? If you had to pick like a certain, you can't pick one person.
I thought it was very clear to me who killed WCW, and that was Turner Broadcasting.
Pretty much.
I don't think they didn't want it. Obviously, they have their like WCW went through its own like backstage BS and stuff like that was hurting the talent and things like that. But I wouldn't say that is what killed it. But Turner, WCW, let's say bringing in $200 million to Turner, and then Turner, instead of saying, hey, our biggest thing is WCW, instead what they did was that they took that money and they spread it around their different channels, and was like, oh yeah, this is everything we're making from TNT, TBS, CNN, all these other things. When in reality,
do that all the time to make their books look funny.
Exactly, but they also didn't want what is it, Brad C? I forgot the guy's name. Didn't want to deal with WCW. He didn't want WCW. He was one of those guys that's like, oh, why wrestling? Wrestling's fake. Like, why do people watch this? And then once they merged with AOL, the guys up there didn't want it. They saw it was costing them more money than they were making, and we're just trying to find a way to get rid of it. And then eventually, the whole thing about when they were selling WCW, they ended up selling it for pennies to Vince. And the whole conspiracy thing is that the guy who was in charge of some sales thing for WWE worked at Time Warner and was able to negotiate a cheaper price than the $60 million that Bischoff and I forgot the name of the company. I saw it today. We're gonna pay for them, and they just swept them under the rug.
First of all, the real culprit in all this is Bill Goldberg for kicking Bret Hart. So let's go.
Bret Hart doesn't know how to take a kick now.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Hey, the kick is coming. What kick? Like, are you kidding me? How many times did Shawn Michaels kick you in the head? You knew exactly what to do. If a kick is coming, you know what to do.
He makes me laugh.
And then at the end, Bret Hart just like, oh, I blame everybody for the fall of WCW. This, and that. I'm like, bro, they don't know how to book wrestling. None of that. I was like, before they brought in Bret Hart, WCW was doing a good job. So I don't know what Bret's talking about.
Grumpy Bret, man, hates the world. Grumpy Bret hates Now, I posted the other day. Triple H never had a good idea in his life. I've never seen one good idea. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, Bret? Where are you?
Should have just commented the Montreal screw job and ended it there.
That's true. That was his idea.
That's what I wanted to bring up. Do you guys believe this whole Shane McMahon AEW thing?
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be shocked, but no.
Nothing from a person with the last name McMahon would shock me, but I don't think that's real.
Exactly.
I mean, if there's one person that TK would listen to, it might be Shane.
A McMahon.
Because Shane knows how to run stuff.
Yeah, didn't you see the Great Royal Rumble he put together like a couple years ago?
Yeah, but he can't book.
Where he was a Final Four.
Book. I don't think Shane can
can't. The problem is you need someone to book. Like, first of all, if they were going to bring in any McMahon to try and help them, it would have to be Stephanie. Honestly, but that would never happen. Obviously,
sleep with MJF, and then I'm kidding.
Yeah, they bought WCW for $2.5 million only.
Oh, 2.5. I said 25. I was way off.
No, and Bischoff was going to give him 60. That's what him and the.
Yeah, they're saying a guy who worked the sale also mysteriously got a job with WWE not too long after they went under. So they calling that shit. That's what the whole fourth episode was about. I'm like, why am I watching this? I don't care about any of this. I don't care about the fucking taxes of the State of the Union in 2000 and 2001 and the fucking stock market. That's not what the show should be about.
Technically, they paid 4.3 because they gave him an additional 1.8 later on for I don't fucking know what. It doesn't matter.
And then that last episode, they're like, they start off with, this is some footage that has never been seen from like the last 2 days of WCW, and it was like 3 minutes of footage that they spread out along the 40-minute episode of them just like filming stuff in the ring.
Go on the network and watch Table for Three with Shane, Michael Hayes, and Bruce Pritchard. You get better information about the WCW. So they talk about it. How they walked into WCW that day and just got hatred. Nothing, here's Shane McMahon walking into there saying, all right, we're going to do this. And they're like, fuck you, man. Like, we don't want to listen to you. But some people are more like, holy shit, it's Shane McMahon. This is cool.
That's why half of those guys never went anywhere besides maybe like either they weren't in WWE or they were just there for a couple months. Like, I like the mentality that Booker T had. He was like, this is a tryout. I'm going to go out there and have a bomb match because I know what they're out here seeing this. And once they see me, if they see me do good, I'm going over there. And
Booker T had a long, successful run in WWE afterwards.
Exactly.
It's still part of the business today.
He took the buyout. And no one else did.
Well, I think it's funny that his brother never wrestled again, really. Or I guess he did like some small stuff, but I mean, Booker was obviously the one that carried that tag team anyways, but
yeah. But
Booker was the talent.
He took the buyout and became a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, they gave him the option of whatever. Let's say like a lot of them have still like years on their contract. Booker said he had like a year and a half or something. They're like, okay, we'll buy out your contract for 50%, and then you can come right to work. Some obviously your Goldbergs, your Kevin Nash, Scott Halls, they all took that buyout. Well, Sting didn't take the buyout. Well, none of them took the buyout, basically except for Booker T and all the smaller guys that weren't getting paid much.
Even DDP sat around for a year or two before he came back too.
Yeah, and then his debut was
Sarah. I see you, Sarah. So I don't know, but yeah, it was really a documentary that didn't need to be made. But whatever, I watched. I don't want to
hear it. You know what? Let's also talk about the big elephant in the room. Once you see it, Anthony, you're gonna get it. I could not stand The Rock commenting on this. Like he feels like LeBron James to me. Everything he said, I was like, stop lying. He's like, when WWE bought WCW, I sat in my hotel room and I started jotting down all the guys that I could have wanted to have a match with. And then I took it to Vince, and I was like, man, we got to do this guy and this guy and this guy. And I'm like, stop lying, Rock. You did not do that. He inserts himself for no reason in this documentary.
Him turning himself into LeBron James is quite funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's true because he has his opinion is like, dude, you weren't there.
I had a long relationship with Eric Bischoff. How?
Yeah. How? When?
How? You never went to WCW. He wasn't in the wrestling business like that. Like, how?
It would have to have only been once Bischoff came over to WWE, which wasn't there a break before that happened? Wasn't it years later?
I don't know if
he didn't come right over, did he?
No.
It was
3 years later.
Yeah, like after it went out, he became the GM. But I don't even think The Rock was there at that point.
No, he just did it because he produced the goddamn show with his ex-wife. That's why he showed up.
But yeah, I don't want to see any other WCW nonsense. Like, it's over. There's so many different things. I'd rather go watch the Monday Night Wars than anything else that's come out since then.
The Monday Night Wars and a couple of the Dark Sides is all you need. You don't need all this other shit.
Like, leave it alone. WCW is dead and buried. It's like the Simpsons meet. It's already dead. Stop.
And stop giving Bret Hart reasons to get mad at people.
Exactly. Leave that man alone. Let him be grumpy at home alone. Not having to talk about Bill Goldberg, even though he loves talking about Bill Goldberg.
He loves talking about Goldberg. Oh, my God.
Bill Goldberg lives rent-free in Bret Hart's head. That's what that kid did.
What happened with Bischoff and Tony Khan? Because Bischoff did show up early on, didn't he?
He was on AEW at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, he did like a couple appearances. I think it was like I forgot what the storyline was. It was something with MJF, I think. It was like MJF and Jericho, I think.
So obviously he had some sort of relationship with Khan. What happened that now they clearly don't like each other?
I think it's what you said. I think he made a remark or something on the podcast, like, oh, they shouldn't be doing this or something like that, and I guess he took offense to it.
I think you hit the nail on the head, though. If Khan, he just can't be the one guy. He can't.
And you can't have the EVPs.
No.
Writing storyline either. You can't.
No.
It's a lot to be a talent, and even Nash said it. Nash said it in the documentary. He was the booker at one point, but he was also talent. Like, that's hard to do. To be booking everything and being talented, to still have to go out there and perform and create stuff for yourself, like, that gets hard.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Well, the other cool thing that this one did reveal was, like, we always knew the Eddie Guerrero and them left WCW, but the reason was because Kevin Sullivan was booking, and Kevin Sullivan actually said, "I'm going to make you guys champions." They said, "Oh, okay, we're still leaving. Goodbye," because they actually liked, I guess Russo and Bishop. They liked the both of them or something like that. Russo, they liked.
Yeah, and then they took Russo out, and then they
took Russo out and Sullivan. They were like, "Bye." No way, I'm making you guys tag champs. See ya. I'm making you world champion. Don't care. Gotta go. And they left. So that was pretty cool.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So I don't know. Other than that, it was a shitty documentary.
Yeah. Can't wait for Dark Side should be coming out soon, right? I think they finished that up.
I don't know. That fast? Another season already?
Wait, what?
Another season that fast?
What do you mean? It's been done for a minute now.
Dark Side?
Yeah.
No, I think you missed the whole season at sea, Dave.
There was a season at sea when I was at sea?
Yeah, you just missed an entire season.
Oh man, I gotta go back and watch. I didn't know.
One of them was Bash at the Beach, which was 2000. It was a whole episode.
I saw that one.
Well, wait, this one did you miss now?
Okay, I'll look that up, and then I have another question because I know we're unfortunately, we went over the 2-hour mark. But
in fairness, we added an entire segment that would not normally be here if Steve was here.
You're right. We would have been done. Probably
we would not have done wrestling had Steve been here.
I did want to talk about one thing, and it's not Braun Breaker being the new Bill Goldberg, but it is this Money in the Bank ladder match that we have 4 participants already for. We're still missing 2. As of now, we have Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, and Chad Gable. Do you guys see any one of those 4 gentlemen winning the Money in the Bank briefcase.
No.
No. So you think it's going to be one of the other two?
It's going to be McIntyre. He's in one of the other matches.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's in the one tomorrow. Oh, Monday. Tomorrow. So he's fucking. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Wednesday. He's in the one Monday night.
Okay,
I forgot who it is.
Let's see if it has it here.
Hang on 1 second.
McIntyre, I don't see you yet. You think it's gonna be? Why would they do that though? It's like, no, it can't be McIntyre.
Who's the other two in that match? It's McIntyre and who?
Hold on. I'm going to WWE.com because the Wikipedia does not show it. So, okay, so it's just not going to show me Raw.
I saw it advertised the other day, and I just totally forgot who it was.
Wow, this is bad. Did it say it on the, like he came out and said it?
Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, but why would he win if he's still feuding with Punk? Wouldn't Punk cost him that again?
Maybe. Let me see if I can find this. I can't find it.
So you're not on the Jey Uso bandwagon?
I like Jey Uso. I would like to see a little more from him. I still think some of his in-ring stuff is less than... I don't know. I think the best course of action is probably putting the Usos back together. Because obviously the Jimmy solo run has been atrocious.
I mean, everyone... But you know what? They're not going to see it that way. They're going to see everyone still yeeting and doing this. And they're going to be he gets selling shirts. Like, why put him back?
He gets the crowd into it. He gets the crowd into it. I don't doubt any of that. I don't know. I'm not... He gets in the ring and in solo matches, and I'm just not impressed. When is this Gunther run gonna come?
I guess after this, since he came out in the...
Is he gonna be the one that dethrones Priest, I guess?
If he loses to Priest, I would be very surprised.
I would too. Because he feels like he's long overdue for his little title run here.
Okay, so Drew McIntyre promises to win Money in the Bank, cash in, and become the champion. So it does, at least WWE.com, their Instagram doesn't have the match yet put up. So I'm assuming that they'll announce it sometime this week. And
I saw the promo for it.
Well, Dave, real quick then. This is season 5. Earthquake.
Okay.
Right. Buff Bagwell. Terry Gordy. The Brutus Beefcake. Which, by the way, is you want to punch him in the face after watching it.
Stop it. His face has gone through enough.
Yes, exactly. Harley Race. Chris Colt. Chris Adams. Sensational Sherry. Sandman, and Black Sunday, which is the one where Vince bought out, started buying up all the territories. That's a season you missed, I think.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I did not see that.
Yeah, out of all of them, Beefcake was... Oh, and Marty Jannetty. Wasn't Marty Jannetty? Oh, that was last year.
And Marty was, I think, the one before.
Yeah, he was last year. Earthquake was okay. Not really tragic, not really dark side. Bagwell was. Terry Gordy was. Beefcake was just nothing but bad stuff. Harley Race was Chris Colt was Chris Adams was okay. Sherry was dark. Sandman was stupid. Because Sandman is stupid. And then the Black Sunday.
What? You missed?
Fucking moron.
Wow, that was classic.
He was a fucking moron.
He was drinking beer before Stone Cold made it cool.
He wasn't even a wrestler. He is Darby Allin's dad, basically.
He was ECW. Half those guys could have been Darby Allin's dad.
Yeah, but at least some of them could do wrestling moves. He couldn't do anything.
He could hit somebody with a kendo stick.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
wow. That's great.
So could a little old lady if she really had the shot at one.
I can't find it either, Melo. Tim, do you know who the qualifier match is on Raw this week for Money in the Bank?
Coming up this week?
I know McIntyre's in it, and I don't know who the other two are.
No, I'm not sure.
Well, we should get by Monday. We should have both the 2 remaining spots because I'm assuming on Friday they're gonna do another 3.
Oh yeah, this Friday. That's right.
Yeah, this Friday they should do another 3, and then on Monday they should do another 3. But I'm assuming that Punk screws over McIntyre in that match, and that's how he won't get in it.
That would make sense.
But then I don't know I don't know who the other 2 guys would be. Timmy, so yeah, I said the 4 guys they have now is Jay Uso, Carmelo Hayes, who did I mention? Chad Gable and Andrade.
I guess now looking at it, I guess it does have to be Jey Uso. Because if McIntyre's not in it.
I was going to say Chad Gable until he started having Wyatt problems. Now the Wyatt ain't going to let him get that fucking briefcase now.
I didn't see the end of Raw because of the game. How did he win the match before they came out, or was it during?
It was only the only what's her name came out, and it was after the match.
Okay, but I'm assuming Braun Strowman got screwed over by Judgment Day, right?
Yes.
And then Bronson Reed
did Bronson Reed things.
Yeah.
Okay, so he looked like Jacob Fatu.
No.
All right, so I guess I don't know. Maybe Gable does win.
Remember,
he doesn't have to get him right away.
It's going to be Jay. It'll be Jay.
I don't know, with the Bloodline feud coming up. I don't know. Maybe it's possible, but he's not going to win.
We still have 2 more guys that can come out to this. So.
Oh, maybe he'll reunite with Jimmy and he'll cash in on the tag titles.
Stop it.
That's legal.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
It's legal.
It is, but we're not doing that. Just like when Austin Theory cashed in on the United States Championship.
No more yeeting. No. Yeet will die. The yeet will die. Remember his stupid glasses. You can't be the Macho Man, my friend. You can't.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Dragunov.
And they're really. I'm going to say Dragunov wins that. They've been trying to insert him into this Money in the Bank match for a minute.
That actually makes a lot of sense if it's Dragunov, being that McIntyre has his Punk feud and Sheamus has a growing feud with Braun Breaker.
The Sun.
The Sun?
Yeah, that's what Paley is. Dude needs some sun.
I thought sun, S-O-N, not S-U-N.
S-U-N.
Yeah, well, the fact that you're saying Sheamus needs sun and Breaker needs less sun is the most fitting match ever.
That's right. The
battle of the Breaker.
The battle of the tanning bed. Sheamus wins, he gets a tanning bed. Braun loses, he gets to give it to him.
Yeah,
you don't like Braun?
I don't mind Braun, but you can't tell me that he's not Mini Goldberg that just jumps off the.
Yeah, but this motherfucker
guy's rough.
But he can wrestle though.
Yeah,
Goldberg wishes he could do half the things that Braun Breaker could in a ring.
You're right, but that spear looks. It doesn't matter. There's no way of taking that and it not hurting. It looks like it's taking your air every single time.
Yeah, he is a little rough.
Just with the spear, really. Everything else he's okay. But that spear, it's like, yo, those guys have to be hurting like after that. Every time.
They're professionals, they'll be fine.
Like
they're all right.
He can do an edge spear that, looks not great and doesn't hurt anybody.
Oh, Raul, you're still with us. I'm glad.
It feels like that's long overdue.
But don't you? I feel like he's been away from TV so long.
But I would rather see him carry the belt than fucking Priest right now.
True.
I don't hate Priest. Don't like him. Don't hate him. He's just there.
No, I don't hate him. I just wish he could cut better promos. I think I think he's good in the ring. His promos are just god awful.
I gotta stay up on my Queens guy.
I said if he could just cut a fucking promo, I think he'd be great.
I'm gonna start a Queens faction. It's gonna be him and Zelina Vega, Chris Canyon, and Big Cass, and Big Cass.
The Redwood.
No, the Big Cass is literally from like 3 blocks from where I used to live.
3 blocks.
Like he was like right there. Yeah, he was like right there. Went to the same pizza place and everything.
Nice. Hey, he's looking good with Jericho right now.
Good, I'm glad.
So there's the 3 matches that are officially booked for Raw right now are the 2 qualifiers, which is Sheamus, McIntyre, and Dragunov for the men, and then Zoe Stark, Dakota Kai, and Ivy Nile for the women's one. Oh, apparently we're getting a Mysterios match on Monday. Didn't realize that. That's
Ray and Dom?
Okay. Ray and Dom, Monday.
So Dom is finally going to beat him with Liv's help. Okay, cool.
But then does Dom come and help Liv beat Zelina Vega?
Absolutely.
Does Dom finally just give in?
I mean, it looked like Finn Balor and JD gave in on Monday.
They just gave the shoulder shrug and held the belt up. So yeah, it did. Yeah, all right.
Priest is the only one that's still like, bro, stop messing around with that girl.
Oh, I hope she starts wearing like the dark purple and stuff. Oh, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be awesome. Not Rhea hot, but still hot. I like my Liv. I can't help it. My Jersey girl.
Oh boy.
I saw her when she first had it, when she was a Carmella wannabe. I saw her at NXT.
Oh, yeah.
We were there, and she brought a pizza out to the ring. Like, I'm from Jersey, I got a pizza. And she fucking dropped it on the way to the ring. I was like, that's so great. She sucks.
Oh man. All right, gentlemen. Do you guys have anything else to part on?
I forgot we were even on the air. I thought we were just bullshitting. I completely forgot we were on the air. Oh, but Raul stuck with us. Thank you, Raul, for sticking with us.
Yes.
Through our ramblings.
I don't.
I'll tell you guys on the air right now. I pitched an idea to Steve, and he seems pretty good with it because of the lack of programming that we've had as of recently on this network. I proposed a new show and not just for me, for anybody who wants it, who's like home and bored and wants something to do. I'm calling it The Kitchen Sink because you can talk about anything you want, even the kitchen sink if you want. So I'm proposing that show because I have a feeling one night I'm going to be bored and just flip the switch and be like fucking, what's his Christian Slater in that movie where he just starts rambling on about dumb shit. That's going to be me one day. I said, Steve, I want to call it The Kitchen Sink. He goes, I like it. Do it. I said, okay, I'm going to do it.
I like the name.
Yeah, talk about everything, including the kitchen sink. That's why I figured we look at it.
Time to time on that.
Yeah, that's what I said. We talk about literally everything. And I'll even get political. So me and Terzier could fight over Trump and I don't
know. Man, it would have been perfect for this week. We got the debate tomorrow.
We have the debate tomorrow.
Let me know how it goes.
And the Mets fans World
The
Series.
debate or the show?
I ain't watching that. I'll watch that shit for comedic value. That's about it.
It's gonna be different, guys. They're gonna actually get muted this time. There's no audience.
Dude, they should pump that up like a wrestling event. They really should pump it up. Yeah, the moron versus the criminal. It'd be fun. Like Trump should come out and like bought like Chains. Remember Chains used to come out in the orange jumpsuit back in the day? Boss Man's enemy. He should come out like that.
He should come out to Hulk Hogan's theme song.
Biden should come out to looking like one of what's his name, Jeff Dunham's puppets. He'll say one of Jeff Dunham's puppets. That guy, he's fucking hilarious. So yeah, I'll throw it out to you guys right now. And I guess Raul's the only one watching this late. But yeah, the kitchen sink, it's coming. It's coming soon. There's a lot of times where I'm home and I'm like, man, I really want to talk about. I'm looking to my left. I really want to talk about G.I. Joe the movie, but I got no one to talk to about. So I'm gonna fucking hit the switch and be like, dude, let's talk about G.I. Joe the movie for 5 minutes, then move on to the next thing.
G.I. Joe the movie.
I don't know. I just looked on my left. I saw something there. I was like, let me just bring it up. You can really go from sports to politics to religion to movies, all in one show. And that's not just for me. It's for everybody. Everybody, Dave, you're up one night. You want to start talking about fucking, how much you hate, whatever. You can do it.
You're not wrong. I sent you guys something to watch after we get off the air now, because I don't want to get in trouble. But I like that idea, Timmy. I thought about the other day. I know we talked about it. Like we kind of talked a little bit about doing like a game, show.
Oh, Rhea Ripley got married. Her and Buddy Matthews are officially married.
He's rumored to be coming back too, by the way.
Well, it's not like he's doing anything in AEW.
Oh, you're right. You're not. Yeah, because he's not part of one of the main.
What does he do? What does he do?
He was feuding with Edge.
When? When was?
Alistair Black was. Yeah, the group was feuding with Edge.
He was? Oh, okay, got it. Thank you.
He attacked him, so he's part of that thing. By the way, he's not that great. He is also someone that's not good on the mic. You're gonna have another Damian Priest.
100%. I'm not arguing that one.
No, he's gonna come back just as like Rhea's like earpiece or whatever. She's gonna be adamant.
He's got a built-in Dom feud already ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I was thinking about that game thing. I just had to think more about it, see how it would get done. But I like where your head's at with the kitchen sink.
Yeah, because I have no life, so I need to channel my energy things.
Yeah, so, same here.
So it's like tomorrow night I may want to talk about PlayStation 2. I'm gonna put the switch and start talking about that, and then
Tony Hawk Underground. Change
subjects. Go to what do you want to talk about now? I'll talk about the actors I hate more than anyone. We'll talk about that for 10 minutes, and move on to the next thing. That's all. And Sergio can come on and bring up the fucking Mets, and I'll talk about them for 10 minutes. And fuck them, and move on to the next thing.
All right. So, well, that's good. So I guess, Timmy, besides that, any more parting words for our audience and roll?
No, congrats, Florida Panthers. I didn't root for you, but good for you. My Celtics, yes, I'm happy. I got me a championship in the holster. It'll hold me over for. I guess until the Rangers can find a way to win that cup. The Yankees have a lot of holes to fill, so I think the Celtics one's going to be, hold me over for a while. What'd that say? Good job taking. Let's go, Jake and Fatu. Thanks, Raul.
Thank you. Thanks, Raul.
Thanks, Raul.
and that's
parting words.
I will say we talked a little bit about the bloodline stuff earlier. I do hope that they don't make it to where none of these guys get a chance to kind of shine in their own way. That's my biggest fear of this whole thing. Because I do think a couple of these kids could probably have an actual career and not just be like, hey, I was part of the bloodline once. So that's what that. Sports-wise, still kind of crazy. Panthers won a Stanley Cup. I still don't like the Celtics. And I'm not crazy about the Heat's offseason so far. Hockey gets center stage starting Friday. And, I don't know. It's off-season. It's a weird time of year now. No basketball, no football, no hockey. It's just baseball right now, which is not my favorite.
Yeah, I hate just baseball. I told you I start watching football.
I would rather watch that than some of these baseball games. That's what we should have talked about. We should have spent at least a couple minutes on this. Major League Baseball umpires, it is officially time that we go to robots because these guys all fucking suck. Thank you.
But I thought they got rid of the one that was the problem.
Nope, get robots. They're all shit. Get rid of them. Robots. I'm here for it. I was against it until
the rules are just out of control. It's just all these rules they're putting in are just out of control. Like you're not pitching fast enough, but there's a guy on base, you're pitching too fast, that's a balk. What do you want me to do? Do I pitch slower? Do I fucking pitch fast? Oh, you gotta find it in between. Dude, stop.
I'm just tired of these guys looking for a fucking Twitter clip to be a part of every day. That shit drives me insane. Just fucking stop. You're an umpire. No one gives a fuck.
The robots are coming.
Yeah, bring them in. Bring them in. I am robot. I robot. Bring them in.
How about you, Dave? What's your parting words?
Well, I'll start off by congratulating the Celtics. Okay, wasn't rooting for them, but hey, they got it done. Set the record now. Glad the Florida Panthers won their first Stanley Cup. It's been very great these last couple of days just thinking about it and seeing all the videos. It sucks not being in Miami to experience it, but I'm so happy it happened. I had something else to say in regards to something Anthony said, and I can't remember off the top of my head what it was now. But it doesn't matter.
Bloodline?
No, it wasn't bloodline related. Shit. I feel like it was something sports related. But I remember now what it was. I know, NHL is over, NBA is over, but baseball isn't the only thing going on out there right now, folks. We got a lot of soccer. The Euros right now are about to get kicked off into the knockout stage, starting on Saturday. Copa America right now still in the group stage, but next week they're in their knockouts. USA plays tomorrow. They're playing Panama. They had a good showing game one. They won 2-0. Got a lot of good games out there. And next month we got the Olympics. USA, baby, come on. We all rock that red, white, and blue when they're around. So there's still some sports out there. You just got to find them, and you will be entertained.
Where are the Olympics this year?
Paris.
Just, make sure if you are going to Paris, do not swim in that water because people are pooping in that water. And, it's not clean.
The time difference is the problem. I'm not going to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning watching the fucking 60-meter butterfly.
But you wouldn't have.
It's not going to happen.
They're ahead, so actually you would be waking up earlier to watch it.
I'm not doing either one of those.
Also sounds awful. No, thank you.
Well, most of the stuff, like the main event stuff, is going to be like they're 5 hours ahead, I think is what it is. So if their main stuff happened at 8, it's going to be like, 3 here. So you'd be getting out of work. All right, let me go put on some track and field.
Who the fuck gets off work at 3 o'clock?
No one has ever said, let me get off of work and put on some track and field. Nobody ever said that in their entire life.
They're actually 6 hours ahead,
Olympics?
by the way.
Yes.
6 hours ahead, Melo.
Oh, 6? Okay, so then it'll be 2.
Yeah, so everyone's going to be at work. Got it.
But when you get off at 3 or 4, it's still going to be on.
Nobody gets off at 3 or 4.
I get off at 4 this week.
You work weird shifts.
I do. But Timmy, you can watch it from work. No, you don't have. There's not TVs around.
Oh yeah, I can watch it easily. And it's a very exciting time in my job right now. By the way, I told you that already, because ESPN is moving from across the street into our building, and across the street is Marvel. I can't wait till Marvel moves in. I'm gonna be so happy. And walk over there and make friends with everybody.
How excited are we for Deadpool?
1 month from today.
I don't want to get my hopes up.
Again, if this was the kitchen sink, we'd be talking about that. We talk about, hey, we're a month away from Deadpool and Wolverine.
My hopes are up. Sorry.
My hopes are. Listen, if I said this before, if it's half as good as the shit that I've heard about it, it's still going to be phenomenal. Half.
Correct.
We've said that about how many of these movies?
I don't have a problem.
Strange.
I have no problem with that.
Eternals.
Eternals is the worst movie ever made.
It's pretty bad. Might be the worst.
Spider-Women movie. Madam Web.
Nobody said that was going to be good. Nobody said that was going to be good.
Someone said that out there.
That's
Nope.
not even MCU.
Nobody.
Maybe,
Nobody that is not on Sony's payroll.
Probably Don. Don and Gil probably saw it together and they loved it.
Yep.
Sunshine and Rainbows, baby.
There's so many things. I'm not gonna keep it under wraps and just hope to see it when it comes out.
I'm ready. We need a blockbuster. I'll be seeing. Yeah, we need a blockbuster. We need something big. What's the next movie coming out that's going to be huge? Twisters.
Deadpool.
It's going to be Deadpool.
This has been a really bad summer for movies.
Yeah, it has. I just saw a 25-year-old movie today. There's nothing else to see.
What do you mean?
At the movie
Inside
theater?
Out too?
Yeah, I went to see South Park today.
Despicable Me
South Park
4.
the movie.
Wait, you're talking about like the original South Park the movie?
Yeah, so I took my son today.
Like Blame Canada, the whole nine?
And it was a sing-along.
Cartman's mom? I mean,
Blame
no, Kyle's mom?
Canada.
Oh, the words come up on the screen for every song. I remember singing along with it. It was pretty funny.
Oh, it was a sing-along.
It was a sing-along.
That's
Sing
hilarious.
along South Park. That is amazing.
Yeah.
How packed was the theater?
Not a lot of people. 30, 40 people maybe.
How big's the theater?
It was pretty big.
200? 200?
Yeah, probably.
Wait a minute. Bad Boys is still out there. Bad Boys was good.
But it's not.
Was
But
it?
it's over. But it's over already. Like it's over.
Okay.
And I actually enjoyed Bad Boys.
Oh,
Was it good?
I mean, I loved all of them.
I haven't seen it yet.
I wasn't a fan of the first two. Go figure. I like the last two better than the
I
first.
think 2 was the best one.
2 is the best one.
I think, for my opinion, I would rank it 2, 1, 4, 3, and 1 and 4 can be very interchangeable.
I would say 3, 4, 2, 1. I don't like their acting back in the day. I thought they sucked. Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
I liked their acting back in the day.
No, I
thought they
didn't.
sucked.
I didn't like their acting back in the day. I thought they sucked. So
Let's see. Also, Despicable Me has not come out yet. Thought it did.
No, it comes out next month. And the only reason I know that is because I have 3 children.
next week, July 3rd.
Oh, next week. Inside Out 2, that came out last week. Haven't heard anything about it. And you saw the Bike Riders, right?
I saw the Bike Riders.
And it was
it
good?
good?
Yes, it was good, but it's not going to be what you expect.
Does
does
it
that
give
mean?
us some
Jodie,
Dominican feels or no?
no, Jodie Comer's the woman steals the movie. Like if you're waiting for Tom Hardy and fucking Elvis to have these phenomenal scenes, no. Yeah, Elvis and Venom are barely in it. No, I'm like they're barely in it, but they're not like they don't steal the show. The chick steals the show by far, but it's still a good movie.
Got it. And I guess the big opening is this Friday. It's A Quiet Place, day 1.
You know, I've never seen the other ones.
You haven't?
I've never seen the other ones. I don't know why they just slipped through the cracks.
I've seen both. I thought
They're very
1 was good. 2 wasn't bad.
I guess I'll go see this one now, the prequel. Then I'll go see all 3 of them in a row. Might as well.
You could do that.
I'm looking forward to Twisters for one reason, and that's 4DX. I'm gonna go get wet. I'm gonna go get fucking wet with that movie.
If those chairs don't spin in a full 360 motion, then it's not worth it.
Like everybody would die. Are you kidding?
When the twister comes, I want to be spinning in circles.
There'll be puke everywhere.
I'm looking for the gravitron here. Okay.
I figured you'd just be 2
Trying to go
hours
upside
of
down in your seat.
wind and rain and lightning. It'd be fun.
Oh my god.
So with that, the boss is
Why does that?
dealing with his bone. Timmy's gonna get wet when Twister comes out.
Bones and wet. I love it. I can't wait.
All right. With that said, thank you guys. Episode 99. That means the next one is the big triple digits.
That's right. No fucking jobs, no bones, no excuses. We all got to be here for 100.
We got to, even if we got to postpone it.
Oh shit! Next one's 100.
Next one's 100.
Triple digits.
I'm not on call next week, so that's good.
Can we do it? Like, I don't
no,
know what my schedule
no
is.
allergies, no fucking headaches, no alarm clocks.
I don't know what my schedule looks like, but from what
Be
I've been
here
told,
on time.
from what I've been told, they're switching me to overnight. So I'll get my schedule this week for the next 2 weeks.
You don't get to be in the top corner anymore.
Oh, so you sleep all day, you come on, you do the show, then you go straight to work. If you're doing overnights.
Yeah, but if it's episode 100, I want to enjoy episode 100.
I'm just saying for future reference.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I will get home, sleep probably until showtime, and then I'll do the show and then just get ready to go to work. Like I would have already had to have been at work, but we started this a little late and went 2 hours and 30 minutes.
We can't do a short show. We can't. It's impossible.
I thought we were going to today. I thought, okay, we're not going to go past 90 minutes. Once I saw that we were finished, we were going to go wrestling, I was like, oh.
Once we did 53 minutes of just basketball, I'm like, no, we're not getting off the show anytime soon.
Yeah, I was about to say, we were well over an hour and a half when we were still on hockey. So,
yeah, I knew that was coming.
Well, everyone, have a good night. Watch some sports, watch some movies. Enjoy the weekend, and next week is 4th of July, baby. No Joey Chestnut.
Oh, yeah, we got to do the show before 4th of July, too. That's Thursday. So we should shoot from Wednesday if we can.
Well, I'm off Thursday. That won't be bad at all.
I'm off there. You want to do a 4th of July show? I would do it. I don't care. I have no life. I'll be here hiding from the fire, hiding from the fireworks.
I don't know. I got to see what the
You
plans
do that
are
on
around
every
the house
night.
that day.
I have fireworks 365. So 4th of July means nothing to me.
I think my wife has to work on Thursday, so I may not be able to do a Thursday show until she gets home.
By ear, fellas.
All right. Well, it's 100. 100's coming up. We'll figure it out. No bones, no excuses, no allergies.
It might have to be the week after.
Well, it's a holiday week. We can take a week off. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
We'll talk. We're not gonna officially decline it before.
Stay tuned to the website, Facebook, X, YouTube. The boss posts everything. We got different shows still going on. Got your Granny's Peach Tea, Empire 161, Black Lincoln Collective. We had all those things going on. Stick to the TikTok as well. There's plenty of movie reviews and shows things going on through there. And thank you for tuning in tonight, everyone. Have a good evening.